good? What's good? How is everybody? Nacho, what's up, mate? What's up, Eric? How are you? Help me. What's up, laddie? How you going, laddie? Chopstick Zhang. Oh my god, doesn't even know how to cut off the cage. Just checking the percentages. Big shake-ups coming in the rankings. Oh, Nacho's already gone and checked things out. What's up, Eric? How are you, man? Good morning, Bilal's good eye. How are you, dude? Wasn't good enough the first time. No, you did good, Eric. You did good. You did good. Watch along stream. Guess we watched the stream over at. Did I rename? No, I've renamed it. I've renamed it now. Should be all cleared up, Eric. Thank you. How are you, Chrissy J? Good morning. Good morning. Stream last night. Card for a bunch of mates at a 21st. Hence my abs. Oh, nice one, Bilal. Did you make any new fans at the 21st? Did you convert any people over to the UFC? I'm here, Chrissy. I'm here. It all just takes a few seconds to get the stream started. Oh, I fell asleep after the Aljo fight, missed the Walker title run. Can't do it. It was hilarious. I nearly died of laughter during the Walker fight. It was so good. Say it back. What have I done now? Mixed martial artist. How are you, dude? That's what we liked here. I had to check. Alona didn't damn me below you. Oh, yeah, fair enough, Nacho. I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. Nice one, Dougie. Good morning, Mick. How are you, man? I hope you have a good night, brother. I hope you have a good night. What's up, 927 Gunner? How are you? Go. Name updated. Aljo title shot now. No, I don't want to see Aljamain Sterling anywhere near the title ever again. I was nice to Aljamain Sterling for a little bit last night. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. Should have just jumped on the Aljamain Sterling hate bandwagon. I've converted another mate off the last two cards. Yes, our numbers grow stronger and more powerful. I can't believe Bona got knocked out. Lona Kavanaugh got knocked out. I know. Bloody hilarious, isn't it? Prelims were a 10 out of 10. Main card was a 5 out of 10. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So majority Borjas. The Pavlovich fight was good, but it just wasn't... You know, it needed a little bit more on it. Pavlovich really needed to put Waldo Ortega Costa away. Brian Ortega and Aljamain Sterling being 5 rounds just sunk the main card. That was a silly decision from the UFC. But Johnny Walker and Xingman Yang, the way that Johnny Walker was just able to walk around in one direction really was a highlight for me. It was bloody hilarious, mate. Ortega and Aljo fought a pity-patty cake match. Yeah, dude, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. It was bad to watch. It was slow. Aljo looked like he was carrying Ortega. It just looked horrible, man. It looked horrible. Didn't watch how that Ortega... He was a punching bag. He was a human punching bag. I'd love to see what the stats are. Cut Pavlovich? No. Tom Aspinall ruined Pavlovich? He did. Tom Aspinall took Pavlovich's soul. UFC stats. Ortega versus Aljo. I'd love to see what the stats are for Ortega versus Aljo and how few strikes they actually threw at each other. UFC stats. Let's have a look. Dougie, did you see Aljo's elbow? It looked brutal. Aljamain Sterling's elbow when he was in top position, raining down the elbows at the very end of the last round. Is that what you're referring to? Help me. And of course, Walker won in a stupid made the most Johnny Walker shit ever. I know. It's fucking hilarious, man. It's fucking hilarious. I loved it. I gotta get my mouth moving a little bit. Gotta enunciate my words a little bit better this morning. Right, Brian Ortega landed a total in a 25-minute affair. Landed a total of 55 significant strikes. 55 significant strikes. He threw 147, only landed 31%. He had 8 seconds of control time. An embarrassing performance. 25 minutes, 55 strikes, only landed 31% of his strikes, 8 seconds of control time. Brian Ortega was rendered as a fucking punching bag. First round, Brian Ortega, look at this. First round, Brian Ortega, where's my screen? Brian Ortega is in red. First round, Brian Ortega lands 2 strikes. 2 strikes in the first round. Last 2 rounds, 13 strikes and 10 strikes. Round 2, he lands less than 10 strikes. Fuck. Oh, man. Brian Ortega literally became a human punching bag last night. Unbelievable. So that's how Ortega did, mate. Did the Jays ruin this card too? No. No, they didn't. No, they managed to keep their hands off this one. How retarded was Zhang complaining that Walker was running away after the fight? Did he really? Anthony Smith was right. 5 years ago, he kills Zhang. There's no way he was saying Walker was running away. Dude, it's up to you to learn how to control the cage, brother. How are you, Mitch? Dude, I fell asleep right at 3 a.m. when the main card was started. I woke up at woke up full 2.5 hours later. Your stream playing, had to go and rewatch. Well, nice one, Mitch. Yeah, the main card didn't live up to the prelims, but the main card was still good, I feel. No, Eljo's elbow after the fight was fucked up. Was it? I haven't seen any of the post-fight stuff, so obviously I finished the stream, fell asleep, and I've only just woken up like half an hour ago and decided to come and jump on the live and kick it with the boys. So, no, I haven't seen Aljamain Sterling elbow. No shit. There you go. Lerner thought he was cold with the hands. Lerner thought he was cold with his hands down. Then he got chinned. You love to see it. Yeah, I don't even think it was him trying to be cool. 927 Gunner. I really believe Lerner Kavanaugh just tried to hit Charles Johnson with too much and ended up gassing out. Should we do the picks today? Yes, we'll go through the picks today. And we'll hit the leaderboard. Did I miss anyone? Tom Aspinall, Roman Pavlovich? No, I didn't miss anyone. There we go. Yeah, show us what that mouth did. What's up, Sniff? How are you, man? Good to see you, man. Does Ortega retire? He fucking should. He was rendered completely fucking useless. I knew Aljo would outstrike Mr. Rebirth. I mean, everything was against Ortega here. He's old, he's a rank squatter, he's bad at MMA, and then he had the worst weight cut, like, ever. Yeah, everything was against him, dude. Walker fought like how Zalal thought he was fighting Calvin Keita. He did! Except Zalal was just moving backwards and popping with 1 or 2 shots. He never sat on it to go for the finish. Ortega was a character when he said legend at 155. Turned him down like no shit. You're Brian Ortega. You haven't done shit to be valid. Yeah, like he's going after some legend at 155. So who are you chasing? Max Holloway again? No. Gaethje's not going to fucking fight you. Patty's not a legend. Dustin Poirier's not going to fight you, Brian Ortega. Shut up. Beneil would murder you, Brian Ortega. Shut up. Dorcas actually fucking did it. I can't believe Chris Dorcas actually fucking did it. 927 Gono. Who could have believed? What happened with Zhang's leg? Did it break or something? Because surely he can't only take a couple of kicks. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen any post-fight recap. I'm scrolling MMA Twitter. If I come across something, I'll let you know. But maybe it was just he copped a leg kick that he couldn't fucking handle and down he went. I mean, he's been so privileged in first round everything. Maybe he just hasn't got that conditioning there. Play Martinez announcing the winner of Walker versus Zhang, and you can see Zhang complaining to Johnny, and Johnny pointing to his head, saying that he fought smart. I mean, he did. Johnny Walker did fight smart. This is 100% Zhang's fault for not being able to cut off the cage. I was so baked watching those guys button smash elbows in the last 30 seconds. Never seen something like that. That prelim fight, what was that? That wasn't Zai versus Wes Wilson. What was that? That was Zhao Long versus Su Yong Yang. That was glorious. Watching them march forward and just throw the elbows at each other. Absolutely glorious, man. Brittle bone syndrome, Bilal? Yeah, that must have been what it was. He's just got brittle bones. Can't believe Aljamain Sterling called out Alexander Volkanovski. No fucking chance, mate. No chance. And Bryce Mitchell is angry at Cracker Barrel for changing their logo. Nobody cares. All right, let's go through and do the picks then. Johnson should have called out Tim when he used to be on the mic. Charles Johnson should have called out Tim when he was on the... Charles Johnson should have called out Tim when he was on the mic. Tim who? 927 Gunner. I'm just going to post it in the Discord. Nice one. Oh, Bryce cares. Bryce really cares about the Cracker Barrel thing. Bryce, but it goes for a whole minute. Is it still pink? What's up, T995? How are you, brother? Let us go through our picks. Boys, let's get over to Tapology and check out the rankings. So where did the rankings end up last week? Here we go. This is where everything ended up last week. Cheeto came in with dominating the picks 3 weeks in a row. I don't think Cheeto is going to be getting the 4-week banger that he so desires. Mikhail Fiesa, whoever the fuck that guy is, came in second place. Nacho was in third place. Jim came in fourth place. Dougie all the way down in seventh place. Toad in ninth place. It's in the Discord if you want to see it. Let's have a quick look at the Discord of what Nacho is talking about. Walker's pointing to Zhang. Zhang looks pissed off. Zhang makes running away. Laughs at Walker. Walker says, I was being smart, brother. Yep. He was, dude. He was, man. Top comment on Bryce's post. What is the top comment? On what? On Instagram or Twitter, Eric? On Instagram or Twitter. All right, let's get over to the picks. The big old picks. Where are we at? We need Tapology. There's Tapology. We need to find our groups, brother. Tapology. Now, how do you find the groups that you're in? My groups. There we go. We found the groups. I haven't got Instagram open right now, mate, so I'll have to log in, so we're not going to do that. All right. You go to Larry's picks, Larry's group. You view the group. Group members. Here we go. Not on Twitter. No, it's not on Twitter. No. All right. We're in. Tone lock. Start at the bottom. Where are we at? Tone lock at 63.3. I don't think 63.3 is going to get you onto the rankings, Tone lock. Let's go full screen for the rankings. Let's make this nice and big so everyone can enjoy this. There we go. And we'll zoom in like that so everyone can see. All right, Tone lock. I don't think 63.3 is going to get you onto the Dougie's Corner leaderboard, mate. Loner has sent me plummeting into the middle of the board. Oh, brutal, mate. How are you, John Dong? Good to see you. What's up? I'm Extremely Asian. How are you, Dark Light Delirium? I love your entrance, mate, as you are all. The dark light is upon you. Love to see it, mate. All right, so Tone lock. I don't think 63.3 is going to get you there. The bottom of the board seems to be about 63.9. So we're looking for people a little bit higher than 63.3. Taptudo is up next. What do you got for us, Taptudo? You're out of the group, mate. Someone needs to. User not followed, blocked, or hidden. We need to block Taptudo. He's wasting space. So glad that Loner the Twat lost a name like that. He fucking deserves it. Imagine picking Loner Kavanagh. Imagine picking Loner Kavanagh. SYMVVS hasn't got the 32 pick minimum to be on the rankings. You need to get 32 picks to be on the rankings. Otherwise, you are considered a casual and not eligible to be on the rankings. Sorry, SYMVVS. You are not eligible to be on the rankings. Strike isn't on the rankings. Skynet isn't going to be on the rankings. Skynet hasn't been around. Six Soul has made the picks in at 62.6%. I don't think that's going to be enough. I think you need 63. Sean MMA hasn't got enough to get onto the rankings. Sorry, Sean. Nacho, here we go. I feel like with a name like Loner, I feel like he deserves wins more than the... Are you hanging, Dougie? Am I hanging? Am I hungover? Is that what you're trying to say? Am I hungover? No, I'm chilling, bro. Fucking Nacho, how have you made that your profile picture? Why are you making this your profile picture? What's up? How long have you been live? Fuck all, mate. I've only been live for about 15 minutes. We're just kicking it today, mate. Just kicking it on the live. With a name like Loner, I feel like he deserves wins more than us. I know, you're already called a loser in your name. Your actual name is already loser. You need these wins, mate. All right, so Nacho has got 68.8% and has absolute degeneracy. Nacho has got 68.8%. Let's see where Nacho ends up on the leaderboard. Goated profile pic. Disgusting, Nacho. Let's put Nacho over here in the holding section and see where Nacho ends up on the leaderboard. Let's move on to the next one. What's up, Sus Pasture? How are you, dude? You asked me to go live, and here I am, live. You ask, you summon me, and I shall go live. Right. Ready UFC. Missed you, Shrimp Father. I don't even know what that means. Ready UFC at 59.8. Sorry, Ready. I don't think 59.8 is going to make the leaderboard. Real Williams. Ooh, 47.3. Who the fuck is Real Ali Williams? 47.3. Nice to see, mate. That is a huge new Huge new name in the rankings. 47.3. That is really good, Nacho. Who the fuck is this guy? Who is Real Ali Williams? He's coming to take over. Don't know who he is. Oh, what's up, Paradox? How are you, man? Lona was doing so well. He was, man. Johnson fully gets... hopefully Johnson gets a matchup that he deserves. I think so. Hopefully high up the rankings. Yeah. Sus pasture, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Imagine being so cocky and confident you get slept in your home country. By the way, I picked Zhang. Let's be honest, Walker was never a safe pick. I don't know who seriously picked Johnny Walker, T995. Like, this is why we get people to actually put their picks in, because they can't just brag about picking Johnny Walker. You've got to actually put your money where your mouth is here on Dougie's Corner. Go to profile picture. It is a pretty good profile picture. How are you, brother? Hey, Dougie, live at the bar listening to a band. Nice one, too, Smelly. Enjoy the bar, mate. Don't worry about this random live stream. Enjoy the bar. Enjoy your Saturday night out. That's the king, bro. I can see that. The Burger King. I think he's a random. Riri Williams. He must be a random. Yeah, that's my real name. Sure it is, mate. Eric Nix's reaction to the Walker KO was so funny. He looked like he'd beat on an Asian. Fucking Eric Nix. It was a lot of good-hearted racism yesterday. Zhang was never my friend. Yeah, no, I never believed in Zhang. Never. I didn't pick Zhang. I slept with my brother's sister. There you go. Yeah, I never pick Walker. Anyone who picked against Ank is a master troll. Anyone who picked him against Ank is a master troll. Yeah, no one's picking Walker. No one is saying they got that right. Did you hear about Khabib's cousin? He was good, but good, but what? And I said those two attributes. Very good, Sniff. I knew you, Sniff. I knew it straight away when I saw the K-Liv. I was like, here it comes, where it is. Kale, or yeah, there it is, Snifferton. Very good, mate. Good try. What kind of casual picks an extremely Asian fighter over Johnny Walker? Exactly. I'm extremely Asian. Exactly, mate. Dyslexia maxing. It's on point today, Paradox. It's on point. Literally got it right, by the way. No, you didn't. Chrissy J, where is your tapology? Where's your tapology? Where's the proof, Chrissy J? You just sit there behind the keyboard like Eric. You, Chrissy J, and Eric are like two peas in a pod. You're exactly the same. You both say that you got the picks 100% right, and yet you provide zero evidence for them, even though we have an open group discourse right here. Sniff stole that from Pib. That's an old school one, mate. That is an old school one. Ooh, 45.8 from random person. Sorry to hear it. I wore the Dougie shirt to the bar, for expo. Oh, thank you too, Smelly Fingers. You're a bloody legend, mate. You need chat to speech. Makes life a bloody blessing. The problem with that paradox is I can't keep up with all of them. Maybe I will. Maybe I will get a chat to speech. Maybe I'll integrate it when I get my new computer in the next fortnight. Meth is good. This is true. He has Skynet reading them all through his chats. And that's what it is. This is just Skynet right here. Walker versus Iron Turtle Nets. Let's see if we can give Walker a Drew Dober type run. Walker versus the Iron Turtle. I like that. I like that matchup a lot. I was literally saying it in the chat since I'm banned from Tapology. You're not banned from Tapology, Eric. It's fucking Tapology. No one gets banned from Tapology. Impression of me and Chrissy J graping Eric. Oh, stop! Stop! I'm a Marine! But I'm a Marine! Literally was saying it before the fight. Eric, you are a troll of trolls. You are not banned from Tapology. We should do an honorable mention for the worst picker in the group. We do, help me. It is the Molly McCann Award. The Molly McCann Award is last week's worst picker. So the Pride FC Award is the best picker. The Pride FC Award is the who won the most recent card, like who got the best picks on Fight Night Walker versus Zhang. The Molly McCann Award, go and get a job at Macca's, is who got the worst picks of the week. The Hardcore Award is for Ulysses because he has picked nearly 4,000 fights and is running at a 66.9%, which is crazy. And the Michael Chandler Award is the award for the chronically worst picker on Dougie's Corner. Yeah, these are what these four awards are here and what they represent. Help me. There you go. What is up, random person? How are you, brother? That's me. I suck. There you go, random person. 45.8%. Not too bad, random person. Not too bad. You see Guru read it from me, so I suppose, there you go. So Guru there, I remember I used to say it in the 90s, isn't it? There you go. Walker, Iron Turtle are on different weight class. Are they? Well, there you go. Paradox the Chub. There you are, mate. You read it in the chat? No, never did. When I skip out on the bill, they'll never forget Dougie's Corner. Yeah, when you don't tip, they'll know that Dougie's Corner guy promotes a culture of don't tipping. I make a pick public. Number 1, you all doubt me. Number 2, you all cope like I never said it. Doesn't count unless you put it in the Tapology. How are you, Davidson Figueroa's fan page? Good to see you, man. I hope you're well. Jesus, I'm a casual. How did I forget that Iron Turtle is a middleweight? It's easy to forget, mate. There's 700 fighters. There's 10 different divisions. You're allowed to get the weight classes and the fighters mixed up sometimes. This isn't a fucking test. It's okay. You know? People are too harsh on each other. He's not a light heavyweight. He's a middleweight. All right, one weight class. Again, there's 700 fighters, constantly chopping and changing, constantly moving weight classes. It's all right. You know, it's okay. Thoughts on Dougie needing to pick my public hairs out of his pubic hairs. Pubical hairs. I find it hard to differentiate between light heavyweight and middleweight nowadays. Exactly, dude. Like, honestly, anything above welterweight, it's just one blob of a division, to be fair. Everything above welterweight is one blob of a division. Dougie, you scare me, I ink. That is hilarious. That's very funny. Suspasture. How are you, Moody Wizard? Good to see you, mate. Dougie, have you ever fallen out of love with someone? Oh, God, yes. Oh, my God, yes. All the time. Yes. Had to shit, but did pull-ups first for added weight. Sniff is a man of logic, reason, integrity, and just a higher level of thinking that you and I will never understand, chat. There is an ability that Sniff has to take a situation where he goes, fuck, I really need to shit, but I'm going to do endless pull-ups right now because it's free body weight. This is what separates Sniff from the plebs. You understand? Tim Dinham, gonna kill me for having Gronk make him burst into flames with Koala handling Israel. What have you done to poor old Tim, Joe Hogan? You know he's shakeable. Don't do it. How are you, Mike? Good to see you, mate. I've been watching MMA since 2005. With that being said, I bet against Walker. Either has retarded shifting back and forth on committing to... Either he's tarted or shifting back and forth on committing to MMA. No, I think he's just... Mike, I honestly believe that Johnny Walker is just retarded and MMA is just a very low-skilled sport where anyone can have a crack. And Zhang Minyang got to the point in his career where he didn't know how to cut off the cage against a basically circling opponent. MMA is just a low-level sport. Thank you, T995, for the $1.50 and the pull-ups. You're a bloody legend, mate. Thank you for the £1.50. Thank you so much, dude. Too Smelly, going to give you great promotion when he unloads a clip into the pay. All right, let's pull up on that one. I'm trying to get 6 foot, so I'm taking these pills to make my... Okay, very good, Too Smelly. 45%, that's crazy. My strategy is pick the cutest fighter, all by decision, or click less buttons. Well, random person coming in at a 45.8%, about the same percent that Eric comes in, is really fucking impressive, mate. Really, really fucking impressive. So well done, random person. Yo, Dougie, you should go on that dating show where they pop the balloon if they want to. I've seen clips of that, and very funny way of referring to them, Big Sniff. I've seen clips of that on X. I've got zero interest in ever being on a reality TV dating show. Absolutely zero fucking interest. None at all. There was a time where once me and Jamie auditioned for a reality TV show, but it was about van building in Australia. It was going to be a van show that was very similar to a show called The Block, where you get given a shitty van. No, you get given a budget, and you've got to do a van conversion. And we auditioned for that once because they reached out to us. But obviously, our audition tape didn't go down well. Dougie, my grandmother loves you. Can you give her a shout out? Her name is... No, Saucepasta. No. If you ain't retarded, you're never going anywhere in the sport. True, Davidson Figueroa's fan page. True. Mike Lang has also been selling tainted heroin since 2005. You got to do what you got to do. You guys ever put your glasses and then can't find them because you're so... You guys ever put down your glasses but then you can't find them because you're so blind? Chrissy, they're probably on your face. Yeah, that's probably where you put them. Get a wife, Dougie. You ain't ugly. I hate your snack breaks. I know, random person, but unfortunately I'm in Australia and there are no women here. There's just a whole bunch of feminists. There are no actual women here. So, yeah, that's a problem for me. Being in a Western country, there's a dearth of actual women. But what are you going to do? Oh, 65.2 from PZP. Now this is a ranking. And can I just say, whoever PZP is, fucking picking 1,000 fights and coming in at 65.2, that is a big dick move from PZP. 65.2. However, he had 65.2 last week. PZP had 65.2 last week. So I wonder, did PZP pick Wang versus Walker? Let's have a look. He didn't. PZP did not pick Zhang versus Walker, which means PZP has been caught rank squatting, which means PZP is out of the Dougie's Corner rankings. There are no rank squatting in Dougie's Corner. You're out, mate. You're absolutely out. Let me move on and read some tapes. Read some chats. I'd like to see that audition tape. Yeah, it was, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just us introducing ourselves. It's nothing crazy. Why, Dougie, did you say that? I don't know what I said, Suspasture. Look at heavyweight, for example. Ngannou swings like a tard. Kane doesn't know how to work out properly, and Stipe made up his own language. Yeah, MMA is not a high-level sport. I know that there's going to be so many fighters and people that listen to this dude sitting on a chair. Well, you've never fought in a cage, dude. How can you say that? The audacity, dude. You never even gone in there and taken a... I get it. You're all very tough men. I'm sure you sweat a lot in the gym. I'm sure your cardio might be average at best. I get it. You're very good at 1-2s on a heavy bag. I understand it. MMA is not a high-level sport compared to NBA, AFL, NFL, hockey, like these intricate sports where everything has to come down to being millimeter perfect. NBA is a bunch of plumbers that didn't want to be tradespeople having a crack in a cage. That's why they don't get paid like other athletes. It just kind of is what it is. I'm sorry. Dougie, I love your Curtis Blades impression. Stop it. Dougie, I hear tradesmen make a killing in Hawaii because the local Hawaiians are lazy. Let's move to Hawaii. Let me pitch a tent in the backyard. I'm sure I've read something very racist there. Islam, Umar, Khabib, Russians are all inbred. I mean, this is true. Almost missed the stream. How's it going? What's up? Jim is trying. How are you, brother? Good to see you, man. Don't worry, you didn't miss the stream. I'm going to be live for a little bit. Just hanging with the boys, kicking it, talking shit. Right, PZP is out of the rankings. Here we go. Kenny Okoye stuck in a cage. Or help me. Oh, help me. It's 72.2%. You love to see it. Kenny Okoye stuck in a cage. Help me, it's 72.2%. That'll get you ranked. That will absolutely get you ranked. Kevin Okoye in a cage. Wonderful stuff. Let's get him over here. And what did we just say it was? It was 72.2%. Fucking hell, that is really good, help me. That is really, really good. How are you, Lane? Good to see you, mate. Johnny Walker going to win the title next year? No, absolutely not, Johnny. It was one decent impression. Impression of Dougie pooping in my carpet and then Alexa Grasso mushing into the carpet with her beautiful toe beans. Disgusting. How are you, Lane? Good to see you. Too smelly pitching a tent for Dougie? Yeah, something not good there. I have to sneeze. Oh my God, that was intense. Jesus Christ, that was intense. The king is back. Nice one. Help me. Very well done, mate. I can't help. I'm viral. There you go, too smelly. I thought the percentages didn't update till Monday. Well, it was a late night fight card, Jim, and we've got today, so we'll do it today. Why not? Dougie, you're lucky I like you because all the... Okay, all right. G'day, Chairhead. How are you, mate? Good to see you, man. I hope you're well. Live for just a little bit, man. The effort's getting lower and lower. Shut up. This is because I picked Chris Dawkins. Can you knock him out? Yeah, for me. Shut up, Ricky. I like Spider-Man until I get the triangle. All right. I'm harder than a whale's... Okay. All right. Feminine sneeze. You guys didn't even hear it. I'm harder than an 80-year-old volcanic rock. Okay. Impression of Dougie trying to read his wedding vows, but he keeps getting a dumbass impression requests from the chat. My love, I promise to take and to hold... Do an impression of Brian Ortega being retarded. No, I'm in the middle of a wedding right now, guys. Anyway, as I was saying, do an impression of you licking my balls. No, I'm gonna... Oh, God. Sneeze into the microphone? No. Why do you hate black? Okay, and we've caught up. Yo, Dougie in a glory fighter actually brought his dog to corner him, and the dog farted. I forgot the fighter's name, but if you type in dog fart... I don't think I'm going to type in dog fart glory into Google Sniff. I'm not going to do that, Sniff. No. No. Oh, God, he hates his own race. Okay. Hooker, Armin. What about Hooker and Armin? Hooker versus Armin Sarukian. Hooker absolutely sleeps Armin. Armin is scared of human combat. He's a wrestler. Okay, let us move on. Very good stuff from Dog Fart in a Cage. How did not the AM Bro go this week? 61.6%. Holy fucking shit. That's really good, not the AM Bro. That is really fucking good. Sniff got my... Sniff did get me with that one. That was a good one from Sniff. Where am I up to? Do an impression of a Nacho. Oh, no. No, Sniff. I'm not typing in fucking dog fart. Eat a dick, Sniff. Mustafa is out. Toad! Toad has usually got some pretty good picks. Where are we at, Toad? No Shama, big ain't Toad. Outboxed by Izzy Fuck. Toad is putting the fucking knife in here with 65.5% from Big Toad. Where are you, Toad? 65.5%. Well done, Toadathan. 65.5%. Let's take Toad and let's move Toad up into the holding area. Well done, Toad. 65.5% for Big Toad. Good to see, mate. Do an impression of Dougie as a straight man. That's what I'm doing. This is all me as a straight man. I am the straight man, chat. It's good to see chat's in a good mood today. You love it. MMA. 58.5. Not quite enough to get you ranked. MMA. Mr. Robbie. Who is MMA Robbie? 63.9. Not bad, mate. Hilarious fucking profile picture. What is that? Is that a... heart? That's in the middle of a heart attack. Very good. Highlight of the card for you. Still haven't watched. Prelims started at 2 or 3 a.m. for me. The prelims overall, Mike, are the highlight of the card. Maybe the final moments of Zhao versus Su Yong. Windmill 30 seconds of just straight up trading elbows with each other at the end of one of the rounds. Really fucking entertaining. Google Black Raw for this amazing coming up fight. Yeah, exactly, mate. Just Google Black Raw and you'll see the best fighters of tomorrow. All right, Michael Viesi. Again, at 66.9%. Very good to see. Michael Viesi. We have no idea who he is, but he did pick Walker versus Zhang. Michael Viesi at 66.9%. He's dropped down the rankings as well as poor old Michael Viesi, 66.9%. Michael's going to be big shake-up coming in the rankings, boys. Massive shake-up. Impression of you sucking me off for $1. I don't work at the truck stop. Sus pasture, like your mum. How long have you been certified? I don't even know what that one means. I don't know what that means, but I know it's fucked up. What is it? What is that? Two smelly fingers. What is a 617? What is that? I don't even know what that is. Be sure to watch Aljo versus Ortega on half speed if you can fully take in all the intricacies. Yeah, skip that for fuck's sake. Or just put a bullet in your fucking head. Lord Herbert Burns. Good old Alex. Where are you at, Alex? Oh, Alex hasn't quite made the 32% pick requirement. But when Alex does, he'll probably get ranked. Master of the Corpse Guard. I never lose fights. I just let my opponent win. That's good stuff, Alex. Lord Herbert Burns. I never lose. I just let my opponent win. Really good stuff, mate. It's coded language. Okay, there you go. I'm sure I'll watch Start from the top then. By the way, is Nacho first? Can't tell your head is in the way. No, Nacho, like, this is just the holding area of guys that have got a high enough score to make the leaderboard. I'm just sort of keeping them over here. I'm just sort of, you know what I should really do? I should do this. And then I should, I can't transform. It is what it is. No, just ignore this side of the screen over here. Like that. That's how it should look. There we go. That's how it should look. That's better. That's better. Isn't that better, chat? Don't we feel nice and safe and warm now that the screen is set up properly? Isn't that good? What a nice, cozy that is. Right, Lord Herbert Burns. Where are we up to? Kia! 8. I get shit in my hole. Anchor Live is cooked. Honest to God, looking at MMA YouTube is bad for your brain. Looking at MMA YouTube is honestly like giving yourself brain cancer. Alright, so Kia, I get shit in my hole, has got 61%. Not quite enough to get ranked, old Kia. Sorry. Impression of Dougie paying $6 on many vids to see a video of Alexis, Texas, popping at a beautiful butterfly and then a bit... Okay. Very good stuff. Don't need to watch that after watching the weigh-ins. Yeah, the fight was completely fucking pointless. J Vanilla, 109, 61.5. Don't think it's going to get you wrong. Ranked J Vanilla. Sorry, ranked J Vanilla. Justin Kennedy with the fucking MMA guru. You'll love to see it at 62.2. Sorry, Justin Kennedy, not enough to get ranked, mate. We're looking more around the 66%. Josh Sable at 60.4. Sorry, Josh Sable, not enough to get you ranked, young man. Jim is predicting. Here we go, Big Jim. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Jim is predicting at 69.8%. Jim is going to be going onto the leaderboard at 69.8%. You love to see it, Big Jim. Love to see it. Well done, Jimmy. Well done, mate. Good to see it, brother. Good to see it. I want to lay eggs in your belly. Disgusting. Great impression of Dougie's dicks. Disgusting. What is up, 1-3-Eye King? How are you, dude? Are you an innie or an outie? It's usually poking out, mate. There you are. 69. I know. Just do 69.69. Might as well do 69.69. Yeah, might as well. Well done, Jim is predicting. Good score, mate. Really good score. Top level shit there, brother. JK Pin. Let's have a look. Nope, not enough to get you ranked. Sorry, mate. Justin Kennedy, let's have a look. Nope, absolutely not enough to get you ranked. Nope. Harvey, let's have a look. Nope, not enough to get you ranked. Sorry, Harvey. We just did Harvey. We'll do it again. Fighters Club, where are we at? Fighters Club. 63.9%. Sorry, Fighters Club. Not enough to get you ranked. Eric's father, I am your daddy. I am your daddy. 45.5%. Embarrassing, Eric's father. Absolutely embarrassing. Alyssis, one of the fucking goats. 66.8%. Well done, Alyssis. At 66.8%. He is absolutely a rock hard person in the rankings. He is fucking unshakable. Look at that. Nearly 40,000 fights picked. Absolutely insane. Absolutely fucking insane from old Ulysses. Well done, mate. You're back? You're back, mate. You are back. Can you touch your toes without bending your knees? No. No, absolutely not. Sus Pastor is possibly Lenny. Could be Lenny. Impression of you walking on Mike Lang, stroking his thing. I don't care. He pays me lots of money. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants. I am now leaving the room. Everyone else gets gay when you introduce it. Yeah, this is true. I don't believe you're going to have to prove it. I don't have to prove it to you. You're just going to have to believe it. The one-eyed king. Joe Swanson jokes on you. Die half a question. Only in my P. Okay. I wonder if anyone had a clean sweep this card. No one would have had a clean sweep this card. No chance. Not with fucking Kyle Dorcas and Johnny Walker winning. And Charles Johnson. No one could have had a clean sweep. Thoughts on who would win, Paddy or Dan Hooker? Oh, I think Dan Hooker would win that fight. I think Dan Hooker's too nasty for Paddy Pimblett. You don't know until you try. I've tried it, King. I don't have to prove it to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually Eric on an alt. I believe that. Who did I just do? Alyssis. All right, Dougie. 67.1 for the boss himself. Dougie at 67.1. Oh, that is beautiful stuff for the big boss. The boss is on 67.1. Yes, boys, that's going to get me ranked. We'll see where I come in when we add it all up. That is excellent to see. Daniel, it's formed. 69.7 from Big Daniel. That is really good. 69.7. From Daniel, formerly known as Paul, I think, or a different Daniel. Daniel at 69.7 with Nina Drama's tits as well. Good to see you, Daniel. Let me just get him over here. 69.7. Wonderful sleep. Oh, Chris Doggers, can you do something for me? Eric never sleeps. Eric never sleeps. If you quit now, you'll be a quitter all your life. That is true too, Smelly Fingers. Never give up. Keep moving forward. You'd have to be clinically insane to pick 100% on that card. Yeah, no one could have picked 100% on that card. I picked Walker, Aljo, and Big Daddy Pavlovich. I swear. No, you didn't, sus pasture. Walker is explosive. This is true. Any way to check who had the most correct picks on their card? There is, Jim, and we'll do it after we do the top 10. There is a way to check. What's up, Toad? I'm hearing a lot of people hype up Charles Johnson while not daring to mention the masterclass we put on him. I was saying Lona Kavanagh was doing really, really well until he gassed out. So I'm giving Lona Kavanagh his credit. Eric picked 100%. No, you didn't. Oh, it's a code and let it. Oh, there you go. All right. Thank you, Two Smelly Fingers. There you go. I'm not going to be bothered to count through the entire alphabet right now, but there you go, mate. All right. Nice to see. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Well done, Daniel. And Toad, you're doing quite well on the picks leaderboard this week as well, Toad, so you should be very proud of yourself. You're gonna rank in the top 10 this week, I reckon, Toad. 60% doesn't get you there. Cheeto, here we go, Cheeto. One of the best in the game, 69.1% for old Cheeto. Cheeto at 69.1%. Beautiful stuff, Cheeto. Really good. Going to be a big shake-up in the rankings today. I can tell. Nice work from Cheeto. Cheddarhead, the glorious, glorious Cheddarhead. 61.8%. Unfortunately, that isn't enough to rank Cheddarhead. I'm sorry. Zhang banned from the Panda Express. I'm not surprised, Johnny. Impression of Dougie 6 equals F. Okay. Impression of Dougie telling his chat his favorite. No, we won't be doing that. I'm extremely Asian. Eric, give in and join the Tapology. I know. Here we go. Two Smelly Fingers is doing all the counting right now. You'll love to see it. Thank you, Two Smelly Fingers. Very good. That's fucking hilarious. Johnny gets it. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, where are we up to? Just literally join the group. Never made a pick. Good on you, low kick. Join the group. Never made a pick. Bodak MMA. 64.1. Oh, not bad, Bodak, especially since you're new to the game. Bilal's good eye. 47.8. He's clawing his way back up. At least he didn't have the worst picks of the week. Not bad, Bilal's good eye. Bone. At 67.5. Fuck, that's really good from Bone. That's really good. 67.5. Really fucking good from Bone. You'll love to see it. Too Smelly, will you count something for me? Nina or Layla? Ooh, Nina. I'd rather go with Nina. Layla looks like she's infested with something. I'm not going to lie. Layla actually looks like she has something. Shut up, you haters. I'm back. Generational comeback from Walker. Fucking beautiful stuff from Walker. I'm back. I'm back, mate. You fought someone who didn't know how to cut off the cage. You are not back. Next time someone lands on you, you are going to sleep. Did you see Kadyrov took the belt from Hamzat as soon as he got off the plane? Yeah, Kadyrov is a fucking glory-chasing dictator. Absolutely shameful from Kadyrov thinking he won the belt. Like, if Hamzat offers you the belt, it's something, but to just grab it off him, actually sad to see. I actually got every pick right, but I forgot to bet on it. Trust me. Of course, mate. You got them all right. You just didn't put it on Tapology. Just trust us. And then Larry hasn't made 32 yet, but once Larry does next week's picks, he'll have 32 picks. And if he does good on next week's card, he might get ranked. Very good to see from Big Larry. All right, let us check out the leaderboard. We just need to see where Joshua Sable is at. Where is old Joshua Sable at? 60.4. Jeez, Joshua Sable fell fucking right out of the rankings. Right out of the... All right, let's do the top 10, and we'll see if we need another... We'll see if we need someone to fluff it up. We'll see if we don't have 10 names. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Top 10. Who are the lowest numbers that I can see in front of me? Toad is one of the lowest numbers that I can see in front of me. Coming in at 65.5%. In 10th place is Toad. Next one up, I reckon, is Alyssis at 66.8%. Good to see it, with Michael Viesa dropping down to 66.9%. Huge shake-up. I think Michael Viesi was coming in second place last week. Massive shake-up for Michael Viesi. Coming in at 67.1% is Dougie, maintaining 7th spot. Am I coming in at 67.1%? Nacho is just a bee's dick ahead, dropping down to 6th place. Coming in at 68.8% is Nacho. Cheeto hitting 69.1% at 5th place. With Jim is predicting coming in at 4th place. Daniel coming in at 3rd place. Oh no, 67.5% is Bone. Ooh, dropping Toad out. Me down. Viesa down. Dougie's Corner, I go down to 8th. Fuck, I'm nearly out of the rankings. Jesus, I'm going to have to pick my game up. I've been dropping down out of the rankings consistently. Bone coming in at 67.5. Kenny Okoye coming in. Help me, coming in at 2nd place. And Real Ali Williams coming in at 1st place with 74.3%. Gentlemen, these are the Dougie's Corner top 10 rankings. There you go, boys. These are the Dougie's Corner top 10 rankings. Let's get rid of that. And let's see who did the best and the worst out of Fight Night Walker versus Zhang. There you go, boys. There you go. Who is Real Ali Williams? No idea. Need to swap 3 and 4. Where am I up to? 3, 67 point. Oh, yep. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful stuff. Lower middle management, absolute flex. Well done, Daniel. Well done. Did I make the board? You did, mate. You did. You're in 4th place. Top 10 could only achieve to Chapman. We never agreed on that, help me. We absolutely never agreed on the how we're going to verify the process. We got to vote on it this week. Now, who did the best out of everyone just last week? Who got the most picks right and who got the most picks wrong last week? Let's have a look. You've been absolutely robbed by a no-namer. It's the worst feeling in the world, isn't it? You've been robbed by a no-namer. All right, how does this work in fucking Tapology? In Tapology, you go to the group. In the group, you go to Dougie's Corner. Then you go to the group events. Then you need to find last night's event. Bodak, Toad, Kay, and Jim were the best pickers last week. Jim, you came in 4th place. Toad, you came in 3rd place last week. Well done. Bodak and Kay came in 2nd place. Cheeto came in middle of the pack. And Bone and Daniel and Alex, you guys were the bottom feeders. Daniel, Bone, Alex, you guys were the bottom feeders. Me, I came in about mid-level. I came in about center of the pack. Just above Cheddarhead and above Cheeto. Just below Nacho and Bilal. Just below Nacho and Bilal. About middle of the pack for me. There you go, boys. That was last week's. Last week's picks are done. There you go. Nacho and Bilal came in high middle. I came in mid-middle. Alex, Daniel, Bone, you guys came in bottom of the pack. And Bodak, Toad, Jim, help me. Kenny, you guys came in top of the pack. Well done, boys. Well done. I think these rankings are AI generated. There we go, boys. There we fucking go. How did you end up below me? It would have been picks and, like, decisions, you know what I mean? Like, the points you get on, like, what round, what finish, what decision, that kind of stuff. Or would have gotten less points overall, I reckon, if you go through it all. So you probably picked the method better than I picked the method. And there you are. We're done, boys. Warnie Boys represented. Warnie Boys absolutely represented and showed up and showed out. There we go. Real Ali Williams. I don't know who you are, but you are the best picker in Dougie's Corner that is never here. Help me. You've been absolutely robbed by 2 points and a no-namer. Jim, you came in... So Scotland nearly won the weekend. Scotland nearly won the weekend, but unfortunately it's not a win from Scotland. You hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see it. Now let's study your slides of MMA rules. Chat loves that. Oh, no, we are never doing that again. Chat do not want to understand the rules of MMA. So I made that mistake once. I'm never making that mistake again of trying to get chat to understand the rules of MMA. This is fixed. You definitely rigged it. Why would I rig myself to come in the middle? Who the fuck rigs their own leaderboard to come in dead center? Warnie represented. Warnie did really good this weekend. Warrnambool did really good. Not as good as Scotland did, but Warrnambool did really well. Below Nacho is where Dougie will be when they meet up. No, even when I lose, I win. AI definitely comes in. Ali definitely comes in from time to time. Yeah, Ali's around sometimes. I've been robbed of number one twice now. I'm sorry, help me. It is what it is, mate. What about your Dark Passenger? My Dark Passenger will be on top of you guys when we meet up at the end of the week. Nice. I'm slowly climbing back up the rankings. Definitely got my picks locked in for the next event. I have no idea about the next event. I don't even know what it is. I'm worried because I have been consistently slipping down the rankings. I started off at about third, and I have been every week. I have been getting a little bit worse. A little bit worse. Even though I did really good on picks this week, I still managed to slip down the rankings. I think I was 7th last week, and I've dropped down to 8th. So it's concerning. It's concerning. I might become unranked after the next card. I really need to have a perfect picked ratio next card. I've still got better picks than MMA Joey. So I don't care. This is the real ranking for me. This is what I really want to know. Whether or not I've got the better picks out of MMA Joey. This is what fucking matters to me more than anything. MMA Joey at 62.9%. I feel like that should be the high watermark. Like, as long as you pick higher than MMA Joey, you can hold your head up high. This was definitely sabotage. I obviously would be at the top of the list. Of course you would. Of course you would. Too Smelly, where are you? Are you even on the ranking? I don't even think you're in the group, Too Smelly, are you? This might be the best rookie entrance into the top 3. It might be, Paul. Well done. I'm just big swinging your dick into the top 3. No, Susspaster, absolutely not. It's best to get your picks in early before you let the propaganda get to you. It really is, dude. It fucking really is, mate. Joey pick mogs you. It literally doesn't. Joey's on 62%. I'm on 67%. It literally doesn't mog me. I mog him. I mog him in every single way possible, except maybe for general size. Conor McGregor's back in a training camp. You love to see it. You love to see it. All right, should we do if we're going to stay live for a little bit, should we do another... What's up, Sharma? How are you guys? Should we do a tier list? It's been a while since we did a tier list. I'm at the bar, I told you. Yeah, that's fair enough, but you can still be, you can still be doing picks during the week when you're back home. Shall we do an old tier list? Dougie thought I were going to work out. No, absolutely not. Do you ever casually just say the N-word? Yeah, when I'm around my house, mate. When I'm by myself, just hanging out. Race tier list? No, not a race tier list. Don't be retarded. I'm looking for my tier list maker. We need to do a tier list of the best third race. Who is the best at making the third round pick? Where are we up to? Where are my tier lists? A boobs tier list. Ooh, that's a good one. Who's got the best boobs in the game? Ooh, that's a... Ooh, now you're on, right? Let's just do this. Bang, 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 bang. All right, let's do this. There we go. Bloody tier list on the screen. Mate, I'm fucking goated at this. I tell you what, the way that you can just whip this up... Actual stuff. I'm not in the group. I'm truly, I'm turtly enough for the Turtle Club. I'm not turtly enough for the Turtle Club. You are one of the best turtles in here, Too Smelly Fingers. You could absolutely be here. Hottest ring girls tier list. That is one that we could do. DC has the best boobs. DC does have the best boobs in the game. This is true, brother. Let's have a look at my tier list suggestions inbox. Tier list ideas. No. Ooh. Champs who took the easiest title defenses. The champs that took the easiest title defenses list. Champs who took the easiest title defenses. Like Sean O'Malley taking Marlon Cheeto Vera as his first defense. Sean O'Malley is absolutely S tier for that. Sean O'Malley taking Marlon Cheeto Vera as his first defense. Yeah, maybe we'll do easiest title defenses tier list. That's not a bad idea at all. If you need a tier list idea, do the best athlete in the UFC. Worst injuries tier list, fighters that have the strongest mentalities tier list. TJ Dillashaw with a torn knee against Sandhagen. Ooh, I like that one. The best athletes in the UFC. That's a really good one, John Dong. Yeah, the best athletes in the UFC. That is a good one. When are we going to get some ring card, for... Shut up, two smelly fingers. Hear me out. Ilya could beat Hamzat at 170. He's great at wrestling, a really low boxing stance, soft takedowns. He also really plants his feet, which is great for stuffing the takedowns. No, Ilya couldn't beat Hamzat Chimaev at 170. No, he's just simply too small. Alex versus Alex Pereira versus easiest title matchups. Yeah. He could have used a knee. Okay, very good. Yeah, let's do this one. Easiest title. Who took the easiest? Who took the easiest defenses? Who took the easiest title defenses? Khabib? Who was Khabib's first defense? Conor McGregor? That's pretty... That is controversial. They're not going to enjoy that one. All right, Sean O'Malley taking Marlon Cheeto Vera as his title defense. Absolutely fucking piss easy work from Sean O'Malley. That might be an S tier example right there. Kamaru ran back to George and Colby. Not worse, but it's certainly up there. Yeah, I mean, the Masvidal one, I wouldn't say the Colby one as like a super easy defense. Purely because Colby Covington gave him a really fucking hard fight. Don't forget how close the first fight was. So I wouldn't say so much the Colby one. But I will say the Masvidal rematch, yeah, really fucking easy defense from Kamaru Usman. Very fucking true. Yeah, Kamaru Usman is up there for Jorge Masvidal. Kamaru Usman's absolutely up there for Jorge Masvidal. That was a super easy defense. That was literally just a payday. Alex versus Hill in hindsight. Alex versus Hill. Yeah, I mean, either way, like, it was a battle for Alex Pereira, but on paper, it should have been easy as fuck against Khalil Roundtree. Coming off fucking a drug suspension, ranked number 8th. That should have been easy as fuck for Alex Pereira. I reckon that probably, for Alex Pereira, should have been easier in hindsight. Let me think about this, chat. In hindsight, right? At least Marlon Cheeto Vera had a win over Sean O'Malley the first time they fought, with hurting him to the leg. So for Sean O'Malley, the Marlon Cheeto Vera title fight on paper is actually harder than Alex Pereira versus the number 8 Khalil Roundtree. Do you know what I'm saying? So that puts Alex Pereira at the top above Sean O'Malley. And then for Usman, he goes above Sean O'Malley because, again, at least Marlon Cheeto Vera had the win over Sean O'Malley. Usman already dominated Masvidal easily over 25 minutes by just smushing him against the cage. So it sort of goes like that. You know what I'm saying? How are you, Trip? How are you, dude? DC, Derek Lewis. DC, Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis was a knockout artist. Had just slept Volkov. Heavyweight DC, short notice turnaround, Madison Square Garden main event. No, I think there's danger in that one, to be honest, Paul. I think there is danger in that one. If we do put that one in there, I'm going to put it well down the list. If we are going to put DC in here, I'm going to put DC really far down the list because I think there's danger in that one. ESPN headshot. We'll get Daniel Cormier on the list, but I'm putting him well down the bottom. Oh my god, have I missed so many chats? No, I'm doing alright. fuck, DC was old in his last fight. Let's put Daniel Cormier on the list, but I'm going to put him down in F tier. Because I disagree. I think there was danger in that title shot that he took. DC Derek Lewis had a bit of fire on it. I'm not going to lie. Let me read some more chats. I'll catch up. I hate it when the screen does this. There we go. Who took the easiest title defense? All right, let me catch up. I'll make sure I get everyone's chats. DC Derek Lewis has some terrible ones. Hello, put Chindu. Who's Chindu, mate? Ilya, #1 triple champ. Ilya's not going to be a triple champ. Why did you put an Ooga Booga face on Usman? I didn't. I just did him. Islam, literally every title defense was a former or current 145-pounder. Which one do you think was the easiest one? Help me. Because he took Moicano at short notice. I guess taking Volk on 11 days notice was easy as fuck, but is that Islam Makhachev's fault? Because Charles Oliveira pulled out. Like, I don't know if I can put the blame on Islam Makhachev. Where is my credit for picking Johnny Walker round 2? Did you? Portuguese Herzog? What's your name in Tapology? Did you? Did you? Or are you just jumping in and asking for credit, brother? Usman looks funny. He does look funny. True, but in hindsight, Khalil is a good fighter. Is he? He looked horrible in his last fight against Jamal. John versus Stipe versus Smith versus Son and John versus Stipe. Yeah, John Jones versus Stipe. Yeah, John Jones absolutely deserves to be on this list for sure. Let me get a notepad up and I'll chuck John Jones on here and we'll talk about it a little bit more. I just don't want to miss anyone's comments. But yes, I'm extremely Asian. Lewis is a decent heavyweight contender. I know, and it was at short notice. I think the Lewis one is interesting. DJ versus a tough season winner. Yeah, DJ versus tough. Dougie, there's this girl at the bar wants to get to know you. I told you you're a single and deadlift 300 kilogram. No worry, get her to hit me up on Instagram, Dougies.corner on Instagram. If we're doing specific fights, Islam versus Renato Moicano, I think that's forgivable because it was short notice. I can forgive Islam for that. I can, dude. Impression of me using a no. Pantoja wins aren't going great in hindsight. Urseg Kai, I know, I completely agree, Herzog. I was talking about that yesterday. Pantoja's wins are not aging well. Why are you leaving the crazy amount of activity Alex had before the Cavill fight? You're judging it in a vacuum. Yes, we are, but I'm just taking that fight alone. Notice I'm adding context to everyone's fights here, Nacho. But that one is still an easy fight for him. How are you, Big Mitch? Good to see you, dude. Islam lost against Volk in the first fight. No, he didn't. My goat, Holloway, whooping Jose Aldo and graping him. No, Jose Aldo is one of the best fighters of all time. That's not an easy fight. Lewis seemed too well against wrestlers. He KO'd one outside of the UFC. I know, Lewis fight is a decent fight for DC. Eric has the best pick ratio hands down. He does not. Connor's defense against... Yeah, Connor never defended. In hindsight, Roundtree is a bum. Yeah, Roundtree is a bum. Roundtree is absolutely a bum. Connor versus his rape accuser. There you go. It's not Islam's fault he fought short notice, but Volk... It's DJ's fault that they had him fight champions from other promotions who were on top, but it's DJ's fault they had him fight. Yeah, so it's either... I get what you're saying. Like, all right, so let's put Islam Makhachev on there then for taking Volk on 11 days' notice. We'll get Islam Makhachev on there then. Islam Makhachev. All right, so Alex Pereira taking Khalil on 8 days' notice. Usman taking Masvidal on the rematch when he didn't need to. Cheeto at least had the win. Volk pushed Islam Makhachev to a very competitive first fight. Islam pulled out. Could have been Gamrot, but didn't want Gamrot. The UFC didn't want Gamrot. Instead, they wanted Volk. Rushed the rematch. I'm going to put it in high B tier. I'm going to put that in high B tier. Right, John Jones absolutely needs to be on here. So let me get a photo of John Jones up. And we'll fucking get John Jones, the greatest duck of all time. Obviously, for the Stipe Miocic fight. Ducked Tom Aspinall and took a 45-year-old Stipe Miocic instead. Absolutely S tier shit. Maybe even more S tier than Alex Pereira, because in Alex Pereira's defense, Magomed Ankalaev was already booked up. Magomed Ankalaev was already booked up, and Alex Pereira had already fought Yuri, the number one contender, twice and beaten him twice. John Jones literally just danced around Tom Aspinall because Tom Aspinall is annoying to me. I don't want to fight Tom Aspinall. He's got no legacy. I don't think you'll ever find a bigger, I'm just taking this because it's easy matchup. Literally fucking ever. I actually think you'd be hard-pressed to find an easier fucking championship matchup than John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Let me read some chats. My picks were terrible overall, but I genuinely picked Johnny round 2 fit. Well done, Portuguese. If you did, man, well done, dude. I'll give you the credit for that. When I watched Islam versus Volk live, I was rooting heavy for Volk, but I had Islam winning the first 3 rounds. I don't know who they were going to give round 4 to, but I thought he lost either way. I genuinely thought Volk had won it. I was running around my room screaming like a fucking madman. Running around the living room like a madman, shirt off, jumping up and down on the couch. I thought we'd done it, Mitch. And then they read out the scorecards and my heart broke. It broke in half. Eric gets every pick right. How can you bet like that? I mean, it's true. I mean, how can you bet against Eric? He gets every single one right. Khalil is a good fighter. I mean, he did not whoop Jamal Hill, a former UFC champ. Jamal Hill might be one of the worst UFC champs of all time. I don't think Khalil Roundtree is a good fighter. I don't. Short notice doesn't mean easy. Luke Bisping too. Don't examples. It's extremely dangerous for a champ taking a fight on short notice to a guy who gives you a... Yeah, but there's context behind the short notice, isn't there? Extremely Asian. Like... Bisping was in camp. Diaz was in camp. There's short notice, and then there's 10 days off the couch. And not just off the couch, like post-surgery as well. Like not even looking to lose, like to be in a fight. So he wasn't even just... Like when Khamzat Chimaev took Kamaru Usman, it was short notice. But Usman was in the gym training. He was posting Instagram footage of him being in the gym. Alexander Volkanovski was not even in the gym. Alexander Volkanovski was on the couch drinking beers, recovering from surgery. And he went, yeah, fuck it, let's do the dance. So, you know, a little bit of context. But still, I've put Islam Makhachev in B tier. Jones's mugshot photo incoming. True, Mitch. John Stipe's complete S tier. Yep. What do you think it means when you get sharp shooting pains right below your rib cage? You've had too much cocaine. Give me freedom, give me fire, give me Lewis Hill or I retire. Good old John Jones. Don't forget, it took Jones 4 rounds and he was getting caught. I know, absolutely embarrassing performance. Magomed was booked up because the UFC wanted him out, and Magomed was booked up because the UFC wanted him out, and Alex lied saying he wanted to break till December. Yes, I know, but Alex Pereira is in high A tier. He's deserving it. I also picked Walker round 2, but I only put 5 on for some reason. Still paid $65 return. Nice one, Bang Eats Chowder. Good to see it. Holy shit, an early stream. We got an early stream, mate. Nice Sunday in Australia. Missed my message. Sorry, Daniel. Let me make sure I get your message, mate. Where are you at? Where are you at, big boy? My God, Daniel. DJ versus the tough season winner. I've got that in my notepad. We'll get to that, Daniel. I didn't miss it, but thank you, dude. Am I still pending in the Tapology group? Is it the right group? Is it run by Larry? That is the right group, run by Larry. What is your name in the Tapology group, Bang Eats Chowder? And I'll check out whether or not you're in the group, dude. What is your name on Tapology? Holloway knocked Aldo out for the belt, then knocked him out for the title defense. You can say it's on... You can't say that that's not an easy title defense. Ooh, fuck, that's a good point. Wasn't it... Why did Holloway end up fighting Aldo the second time? He was meant to fight someone else, but that ended up being a short notice turnaround again. What was the circumstances for the second Aldo fight? Bang Eats Chowder? Oh yeah, okay, you might be in there. Let me have a look. Let's go to the Tapology group and have a look at Bang Eats Chowder. Tapology. Groups. Are you in there, Bang Eats Chowder? Let's have a look, mate. Group members. No, sorry, Bang Eats Chowder. You haven't been accepted into the group yet. Come on, Larry. Lift your fucking game up, mate. Bang Eats Chowder wants to get into the group. Sorry, brother. You're not in the group yet, but we'll get you on it. We'll keep harassing Larry until he gets it done, mate. Johnny Walker isn't just a Brazilian wing C. He is just a Brazilian wing C. Simply kudos. Yes. All right. So Islam for his Alexander Volkanovski one, and then Islam again for Moicano. I'm going to give him a D tier for the Moicano one because at least he saved the card. At least he saved the card. So this one is for Moik. Fucking easy defense. This one is for Alex. This one is for Alex. At least Alex gave him a competitive fight in the first one, and he saved the card. They go there. Looking back on Alex's career, do you think he was overrated in 2023, 2024? People were saying he was creeping up to GOAT status, and he had a couple of cherry-picked defenses. That's what I was saying all of 2024. I was copping so much shit for my honest and real take on Alex Pereira. People were giving me shit endlessly. They were like, you just hate Alex Pereira. You just hate Alex Pereira. And I was like, he's literally been gifted the Jan Blachowicz fight. He's been getting cherry-picked opponents. Like, he got Jamal Hill rushed back. I was just being honest about Alex Pereira, and people thought I was fucking hating him when I wasn't. So, yeah, Sharma, I agree with you, dude. I agree with you. Johnny Walker is a bit, we did that one. All right, who am I looking for? I'm looking for Max Holloway. I've got so many fighters on the roster here on the side screen. It's just making it impossible to find them all. I've got to start re-adding them into the thing and start naming them and tagging them. Holloway was supposed to fight Frankie Edgar. That was the one. 5 months after killing Aldo. Aldo stepped in for a short notice fight. Yeah, so we'll do Holloway, but we'll give him a little asterisk because it was short notice. Fuck it, I'm just going to add Holloway back in. And I'll just have to go through all of this and tag everyone. Max Holloway. But we forgive you, Max Holloway, because it's short notice, brother. 3 former champs, real cherry-picking opponents. Fucking retarded take. Jamal Hill's one of the worst champions to ever touch a belt. They rushed them back before they were ready to heal up for their injury to save cards. His best win at light heavyweight is Yuri Prohaska. Alex Pereira is an industry plant. I know you love him, Nacho, but it is true. Max Holloway. Where do you rank Max Holloway for his second Aljo fight? He did save a card on short notice, but very similar to Islam. You know what? I'm going to put Max Holloway above Islam Makhachev because at least Islam Makhachev had a tough first fight with Volk, but then chose to do the rematch to save the card. When Max Holloway didn't have a tough first fight with Jose Aldo. So for the second fight, Holloway, I think he ranks above Islam Makhachev there. I do feel that. Yeah. Holloway's supposed to fight Frankie Edgar. We did that one. I think we should be grateful he fought as much as he did and provided exciting fights during a period of absolute shit. We can be. I completely agree. We should be grateful. I'm just pushing back against the overglaze. Like, I know we live in a goldfish society where people do not remember things clearly. The amount of glaze that Alex Pereira was getting. This is why I push. There were people telling me that I was doing a skill list. I was doing the pound for pound list, which I was saying who are the most skilled fighters in the UFC. People were dying on the hill that Alex Pereira was one of the most skilled fighters in the UFC. People were talking about putting Alex Pereira in the top 10 greatest fighters of all time. The amount of fucking hype that he was getting at the peak of 2024 was insane. And I was just trying to bring a little bit of clear-headed thought to the conversation. And just like Khamzat Chimaev fans, you're a fucking hater. You hate Alex Pereira. It was non-stop. Dougie just hates Alex Pereira. Dougie's such a hater. There's Nacho right there. You point out Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill never should have been a champion. Jamal Hill is about ranked 7th in the light heavyweight division. But he's a former champion. It's a dumb, retarded take. It's not a retarded take. Jamal Hill is about ranked number 7. He got rushed back from his injury. It's a shit title defense. Khalil Roundtree is shit. It's a shit title defense. He lost against Jan Blachowicz. He got held down by Jan Blachowicz and just stared there looking up at the sky. The entire time during 2024, Magomed Ankalaev was the number 1 contender, and the UFC were trying to keep Magomed Ankalaev away from the belt. And you're going to have this conversation of like, we need to put Alex Pereira in the top 10 GOAT list. He's not fighting the number 1 contender. They're keeping him away from the number one contender. How can you put him in the GOAT list if he's not going to fight the number one contender? It was retarded. The entire time it was retarded. But if you say any of that, you were just a fucking hater. All 2024, I was called a hater for just being correct. And I'm standing on that. That is fucking true. I was 100% correct the entire time. But people forget. I don't blame Johnny Walker looking like he's trying to put out a fire from his chin in the first round, comes back to KO someone. I don't blame Johnny Walker looking like he's trying to put out a fire from his chin every first round and comes back to KO someone in the second round. No, I mean, he still puts himself in the fire in the second round, so it's awesome to see, Cayman. Izzy versus Vettori, Izzy versus Jared Cannonier, Izzy versus Costa. No, Costa was a knockout artist. Vettori had earned his way back to the title shot, and so had Cannonier. Cannonier was on a win streak as well, Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier had earned his way back to a title shot as well. Yeah, he'd beaten Anderson Silva, Jack Hermansson, lost a close decision to Robert Whittaker, beat Kelvin Gastelum, who at that time had gone to war with Israel Adesanya, beat Derek Brunson at elbows in round 2. Izzy was working his way through his entire division. Yeah, no, Izzy's fine for taking the Cannonier fight. That's a perfectly acceptable fight. Michael Bisping is S tier. Michael Bisping might be S tier for the fucking Dan Henderson fight. That is a good one, Johnny. John is up there because of the Stipe fight. Absolutely. He should have been fighting Tom Aspinall instead. Put Ilya Abtuldo for Paddy Piglet S. I don't even know what that means. Nacho, you have to do more to the actual GOAT. Then also Jamal Hill is not that good. 5'7", but not that good. Exactly. I heard people saying Poatan is all 3 if he beats Magomed. It's insane. I know. It was fucking insane. Insane. Dougie says he's being clear-headed, but then he says JDM will beat Islam and that Whittaker is good. JDM will beat Islam. Islam Makhachev can't hold down Poirier or Volk. JDM can get up from underneath Bilal in the 5th round. JDM will beat Islam, and Whittaker is good. And I have no further arguments about that. Bill Whittaker is good. You saying he lost against Jan is proof that you don't like him. Dougie loves people being fans until they're fans of someone that he isn't a fan of. I like Alex Pereira. I hate annoying fans that overglaze the fuck out of their fighters. You do it to Alex Pereira. Hamzat fans obviously do it to Hamzat. The Islam Makhachev fans refuse to accept that JDM has got good grappling. It's just true, Nacho. Fair point about the GO conversations when he haven't even fought the number 1 contender. Thank you. Hello, Dougie. Brian Ortega, rank squatted fraud. Fraud checked again. Cut this bum from the They should cut him from the UFC, Shotgun. They absolutely should. Can you put John above S tier for ducking short notice chase? Oh my fucking God. Unfortunately, this isn't a ducking tier list, simply kudos, but yes. Absolutely, yes. Dan Henderson, I wish that they judged that fight and how you look after the fight. Yeah, true. True. Dude, Ton wasn't even proven when they announced the John versus Stipe fight. Stipe was a heavyweight king until John Jones took the title from him. Aspinall ducked everyone and Jones ducked nobody. Sus past you, you're being retarded. 2 wins in 7 years and still top 5. It's a fucking joke. I know. What the hell happened to Marty's face? It's the retard face. I put the retard face on him. President of Islam mogging JDM like how Hamzat did DDP. President of Islam Makhachev mogging JDM like how Hamzat did to DDP. No. What faggot? What is this tier list? This is who took the easiest title defense tier list. Super Shotgun. When you're right, you're right. Thank you, Daniel. It's fucking rare to hear from the chat. I appreciate it. Who are we doing? Yes, Michael fucking Bisping taking the Dan Henderson fight. Now, I believe at the time that he took the Dan Henderson fight, Yoel Romero was right there ready to go. I'm sure Yoel Romero was ready. Yoel had just... Yoel Romero. Michael took the Bisping fight. Michael took the Dan Henderson fight. And he had just... Luke Rockhold was in 2008. Where's Dan? Where is Bisping's? Nobody believed in Yoel Romero until the Izzy Must. No, they did. They absolutely did believe in Yoel Romero. When did Bisping take on Henderson? Bisping took on Dan Henderson in 2016. And in 2016, Yoel Romero had just beaten Chris Weidman. That's right. He had just beaten Chris Weidman. That was in November. And Bisping... October. So before that, Romero had beaten Souza, Machida, Tim Kennedy, Brad Tavares, Derek Brunson, Ronnie Mars. Yoel Romero was available to fight, and instead, Bisping took the Dan Henderson fight. Yep. Bisping ducked Romero and took Dan Henderson instead, and still made it look fucking sloppy. Ooh. Old Dan Henderson versus old Bisping. Where does that rank? Where does that fucking rank up here? When he could have taken Yoel Romero, but instead he took the easy title defense. I think that goes above them all. Although, Hendo did knock him out in the first one, just like... I think that goes just above Sean O'Malley. Although Sean O'Malley had... These are very similar matchups, aren't they? Aren't these very similar? So Bisping could have taken Yoel Romero, but he wanted to get the win back over an old Dan Henderson. Sean O'Malley could have taken Merab Dvalishvili. Where are we at? Like down here. Let's do this. Let's do this and talk about this. Bisping could have taken Yoel Romero, but he didn't want to. He wanted to get the rematch against Dan Henderson. O'Malley could have taken Merab Dvalishvili, but he didn't want to because he wanted the rematch against Marlon Chito Vera. I think Chito Vera is less dangerous than Dan Henderson. At least Henderson had the H-bomb, although Henderson was old as shit. Let's read some chats and I'll let you guys decide. Maybe we do a poll on this one. What was the easier first title defense, considering what they had to go against instead? People are overglazing Hamzat now. I heard Burnhill Bro saying he wants Hamzat versus Tom Aspinall. Who the fuck are these people? That is such a... Yeah, it's sport, man. It's the fans. They get well overhyped way too quickly, and that's just sport, but it is what it is. Nobody believed in Yoel Romero. They absolutely did. All-time GOAT easy title defense is Frank Shamrock versus Johnny Loba. Loba was on a 5-fight losing streak. I'm not even joking. Look it up. Get the fuck out of here, Shotgun. I am going to look that up. Let me put that in my notes. He can't have had a fucking title shot in a 5-fight losing streak, but I believe that. I think Yoel might have been suspended at the time. I don't think he was because he fought in November. Dan Henderson fight was definitely number one contenders fight. How would you find generations rank? How would you find what generation rank? Well, I'm looking at the timeline, the schedules, and the wins pool. He beat Shamrock in a dodgy split decision, massive upset, 97 loss, 5 fights in a row to a draw. That is fucking embarrassing. Is Poulton up there for the Hill or the Khalil fight? The Khalil fight. What's up, Alex? How are you, brother? Good to see you, man. Had a dream that Johnny Walker beats the Chinaman. How crazy is that? That is crazy, dude. Henderson is not a generation. I know. Have some frozen curry. No. Aldo did very good against Izzy impression last night. Aldo did very good against Izzy impression. Aldo did very good against the Izzy impression last night. I don't know what you're saying. Thank you, Suspasture. Bisping himself was old as fuck and had one eye and his body was held together by duct tape at that point. That is true. That is true. Tapuria versus Justin will be the easiest defense in the modern era. It might be. Hendo wasn't even top 10 at the time. Yeah, I said woeful. At least Cheeto was ranked. What's up, Guru Sister? Nacho, your memories, it is really good. I think it was 12. Silver is the king of easy title defenses. Well, Silver ran out of competition. I think if Hendo wasn't even in the top 10, and Hendo had... Yeah. You know what? We're putting Bisping above Sean O'Malley. For easy fucking title defense. We're putting Bisping above Sean O'Malley. Hendo wasn't even top 10. Yeah. You're hitting the gym? Good for you. And we'll put O'Malley below Bisping. In fact, we'll drop him down. We'll create some space. At least Marlon Chito Vera had a win and Marlon Chito Vera was ranked. At least Marlon Chito Vera had beaten O'Malley in the past and was ranked. If Tender wasn't even in the top 10. What is going on? Read the script. Guru Sister. Who took the easiest title defenses tier list? There we go. All right, where am I up to? Silver is the king of easy title fight. He ran out of competition. Silver smashed everyone so badly. They thought they were easy, but he was just that far ahead. I kind of agree with Shotgun on that one. John Jones had Anthony Smith. John Jones is up there for the Stipe Miocic fight. Trying to punish Silver for clearing out a whole I know. That's why I'm not even gonna entertain that one. Women's MMA cake tier list video, maybe. What is the topic? I was going for a bit. The topic is who took the easiest title defense. So you've got John Jones taking Stipe Miocic when Tom Aspinall was right there. You've got Alex Pereira for his title defense against Khalil Roundtree, ranked 8th Khalil Roundtree. Kamaru Usman for taking Masvidal in a rematch when he dominated Masvidal over 5 rounds. Michael Bisping for taking Dan Henderson when Yoel Romero was right there, ready to fight. Sean O'Malley for taking Marlon Chito Vera when Merab Dvalishvili was right there, ready to fight. You got Max Holloway for taking on Jose Aldo in the second fight. Not really Max Holloway's fault, because obviously Jose Aldo got injured and it was meant to be against Mendez. It was meant to be against Mendez, but he got injured, so Aldo stepped in. You've got Islam Makhachev for taking the second Alexander Volkanovski fight. The first Alexander Volkanovski fight was at least a war that he barely won, but Alex was 10 days off the couch and had just had surgery. And then you've got Islam Makhachev for taking Renato Moicano, which I'm going to put in F tier because he literally saved the event at the start of the year at a very expensive arena for the UFC. And then you've got DC for taking Derek Lewis, which I don't even consider an easy fight. Derek Lewis was a fucking knockout machine, and DC took that on very short notice to save the Madison Square Garden card. There we go. Let me read some chats. Now you guys understand the context. Now you guys understand the context of the tier list that we are doing. I have got some notes. We are going to be looking at all-time GOAT easy title fight. We're going to be looking at Frank Shamrock taking on John Loba. Apparently, Loba was on a fucking 5-fight losing streak. That might take S tier. I'm going to read some chats. I'm going to take some notes, and then we'll circle back around. Good old classic Dougie's Corner live stream. We're back, boys. We're back in the dead era of MMA, doing tier lists on the live stream again. You'll love to see it. Let me catch up on some chats and then we'll get back to it. John versus Chael was a gimme fight. That was a give me fight for John. Yeah, John versus Chael. But also, John was a little bit similar to Anderson in that regard, where John had also cleared out his division as well. Sorry, I'm just listening. You're all good, mate. Seriously, you can't say Silver. I'm not putting Silver on this list. Put all of John's title defenses in S tier except for DC and Gustafson. Yeah, fair. Dougie, look up John Lober on Tapology. I will, Super Shotgun. I've got it on my notepad in front of my eyes. I'm just going to read some chats. Amanda Nunes had the easiest tight defenses. Felisa Spencer. Yeah, Amanda had some fucking easy one. Read my chat this time. What's up, B-Fatty? Good to see you, dude. Dougie, you should do a War Room-esque video with all the goofy shit fighters have been doing and talk about how their levels are so much higher today and show the shit from last night spamming elbows. Actually, Nacho, that is a great idea. I'm going to put that in my notes as well for a video idea. War Room idea. Modern MMA. War Room. Modern MMA. Breaking down the peak of modern MMA and how the skill levels these days are just so much better. And you must always shit on Anderson Silva's legacy. You always have to shit on Anderson Silva and Mighty Mouse because you just don't understand the skill levels today. Volk versus TKZ. Really good suggestion. We'll talk about that one as well. Bilal's good. I thank you. What are the most annoying MMA fans? Cough, cough. Muslim fans. Yes. Muslim fans, John Jones fans, Alex Pereira fans. These kind of fans. Aljo versus TJ Dillashaw. Not Aljo's fault, but a great one. Aljo versus TJ. Great one to talk about as well. We'll bring that one up and talk about it as well. That is a great idea. You don't have enough viewers to skip my comment. I'm reading your comment, B Fatty. I'm literally reading your comment. Aljo versus TJ, that was a great one. Simple kudos. You're putting Sheeta, Rashad, and Rampage in there. Yep, strange choices. Don't forget Usman fighting Colby second time. I rate that as a very tough fight for Usman, actually. I give Usman credit for that one, Johnny, because the first fight was a very tough fight, and the second fight was very close. Can we really have Aldo as an easy fight, though? He's one of the great... Yeah, but Max Holloway did sleep him in the first one, so... You're going to sleep him. Yeah, no, Volk for the third Holloway fight. Holloway earned his way back to a win streak. Holloway absolutely deserved that fight. I'm not gonna shit on Volk for that one. I will give him a little bit of shit for the TKZ fight. I wish I saw DC versus Brock. That would have been good. If you were 50 years old and a fan of... You are 50 years old and you're a fan of 24-year-old MMA Guru. What's the problem? What is the problem? You're 23 years old and you're a fan of a 50-year-old Joe Rogan. You're 14 years old and you're a fan of Dana White. I don't understand what the problem is. That's kind of a weird, I gotcha. You didn't really get me there, B-Fatty. You kind of just showed how fucking dumb you are, to be honest, B-Fatty. Sorry, mate. You took the L on that one. How many Pantosias to beat one Aspinall? 10. Take Lewis off then. It was just a suggestion to discuss. Yeah, that's all good, Paul. No, we'll leave it on. It's good to have some low-tier S tiers. He had a draw in between, but he was literally the Sam Layer of 90s MMA. He got a title shot. That is fucking embarrassing. I'm just disgusted by the gay duck. Sorry, Nacho. Alex is going to sub Magomed Ankle Live. No, he isn't. Aspinall fans are very annoying. And I say this as an Englishman. You make a criticism of Aspinall and you get swarmed. Yeah, Aspinall fans can be super annoying. Just remember, you can only hate on DJ and Silver, but not John and GSP for some reason. It is really weird, isn't it? Leon versus Colby. I'll put it on there to discuss, but I've got things to say about that one. I'll put that on there to discuss, Alex. But I've got things to say about that one because stylistically, I know now that the fight's been done, it's easy to laugh at Leon, but stylistically, kind of a bad matchup for Leon. Usman fighting Masvidal and Colby twice are definitely suspect offenses. I don't think the Colby rematch is suspect. I don't. The first fight was a war. The Masvidal one, I'll give you. Like, the Masvidal one, he's literally on A tier for that. I agree. The Masvidal one, I completely agree. Fighting Colby the second time, I disagree. The Colby number 1 fight was a war. It was a back-and-forth war. TJ Dillashaw versus Joe Sonato. Ooh, don't know what that is. TJ Dillashaw versus Joe Sonato. I know nothing about that one. Alex is going to put Ankle Live and Crucifix and hold him down for 25 minutes. No, he isn't. Guru is super fun to watch. What the fuck? Yeah, I know. They're just trying to be like, gotcha. They're trying to play gotcha games, but you'll never get me. If Alex subs Ank, you might have to delete this channel and start it. I might have to. Aldo versus Faber 2. All right, I'll check that one out as well. Aldo versus Faber 2. We'll put some sauce on that one. Thank you. Help me. Aldo versus Faber 2. No fan base is more annoying than the Jones and Sharma fan. The Hamzat fans have been pretty fucking annoying. Think about the amount of rage that we have gotten in the last week. I'm extremely Asian. The amount of rage, pushback, like that video got 1,000 views. The shorts got 10,000 views or something. The entire conversation this week was dominated about the Hamzat Chimaev fans. Now, what is the only criticism that the MMA community has given Hamzat Chimaev to cause this much noise? Was it Hamzat Chimaev is a cheater? No. Was it Hamzat Chimaev is on steroids? No. Was it Hamzat Chimaev is insulted? No. What is the only criticism that we gave Hamzat Chimaev? The performance was kind of boring. The amount of backlash that the Hamzat Chimaev fans have caused over that one sentence. The performance was kind of boring. They might be the most fragile MMA community there is, the Hamzat Chimaev fans. At least with John Jones, they're defending him for him actually being on steroids and, like, you know, horrible things. But these guys, you say one slight little criticism about an opinion of a fight, and it's like you've started World War III. Hamzat Chimaev fans are the most fragile fans in the entire community. Also, Leon tried so hard not to have to fight Colby, so he said no like 4 times. Yeah, like the Colby one is an interesting stylistic matchup, yeah. Flukas does way too much to say Aspinall is the greatest heavyweight of all time. Like, he raised up Aspinall, but he can't do it without trashing the other guy. Yeah, but that's what Flukas does. Flukas literally looks at his phone, checks what the rankings are, and then goes, I tell you what, Tom Aspinall, JDM, easily the greatest welterweight of all time. Who has boxing like that, man? It's incredible. Who can grapple and box like that? JDM is the best welterweight of all time. Like, Flukas is just here today, gone tomorrow. On paper, bad matchup, but did you see the fight? I know, Alex, I know. The fight, in hindsight, was easy as fuck. But on paper, it was a bad matchup. Joe Celto fought TJ on a day's notice. There you go. So there will be a little asterisk there for that one. Rob versus Wade. He defended against Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero just didn't make the weight. Aldo versus Faber only fought 1 time. Cejudo versus Cruz after 4 years off or some bullshit like that. Yeah. Cruz is one of the old goats, though. Cejudo's a goat. Fuck it, Marab O'Malley, too. Fuck it, Marab versus O'Malley, too. Yeah, fucking Marab for taking O'Malley again when he had dominated O'Malley in the first. Although people were saying that it was kind of, let's put Marab and O'Malley on the list for discussion. I'll keep reading the chats, but we'll put Merab versus O'Malley on the list, and we'll break it down a little bit more as we get closer to the chat burning down a little bit. The Daggy Chechen fans are hilarious. Inshallah, brother. We did it, brother. I mean, they're from fucking Beverly Hills and speak with a Valley accent. I know, mate. Just because they go to the local mosque in Beverly Hills, all of a sudden, they're fucking Chechen. Henry Cejudo fighting Cruz after 4 years absence and a loss. That is fucking true. Henry Cruz. Yeah, we'll chuck that one on the list. Yeah, fair enough. Not kind of. It was boring. That's what I mean. It was boring. We might fuck with you more often than not, but I got to say it once. You're a cool... Oh, thank you, Guru Sister. I appreciate it. I know. It's fine. You guys are meant to fuck with me. That's the point of the channel. That's the whole point of the channel. Tito Ortiz defending against Cam Shamrock when he had been away from the sport, and his last fight was a loss in pride. Okay. Tito versus Ken. We'll have a look at that one as well. Douglas pulled his snake out. No, I didn't. Also, Hendo was ranked 13th, which should be Bisping at the top of A tier in my humble opinion. I'll give you that. At least Khalil Roundtree was ranked at number 8. There you go. I'll give you that. We'll put Bisping there for Hendo, Nacho. There you go. Alex Pereira isn't at the top of A tier. That'll make Nacho feel a little bit better. There we go. Luke Thomas made a video saying Hamzat was boring and playing it safe, and the Bathtub Brigade fanbase lost their fucking mind in the comments. That's what I'm saying, mate. Like, they are so fucking fragile. It's not even that hot of a take to say that it was a bit boring, but they lose their fucking minds. If you think O'Malley was going to beat Merab or change in the rematch, you might be retarded. I picked O'Malley to beat Merab in the rematch. My name is Dougie. I run the channel, Dougie's Corner, and I might be retarded. There we go. How can Sharma be above O'Malley, though? How can O'Malley not be S tier? Because at least Marlon Chito Vera had won a fight against him. Whereas Sharma just took ranked number 8th Khalil Roundtree. Yeah, just an absolute disgrace. GSP versus Diaz. GSP versus Diaz is a very good one. Diaz looked like shit in that fight. But who else was GSP going to take at the time? What is the context of that fight? Was there anyone else available for him to take at the time? DDP versus Strickland 2. Nope, first fight was very close. That fight needed to happen. Sadly, it does make me feel a little bit better. I know, you're so emotionally attached to Alex Pereira. It's okay, man. I get it. I'm the same way with Robert Whittaker. No, it was 3-2 first fight. Good on Merab. Yeah, that's the thing. If the first fight was competitive, which is why, like, I've got Islam Makhachev all the way down here for the Alexander Volkanovski rematch. Like, if the first fight was competitive, I don't mind the second fight. That's why I don't mind Usman taking the second Colby fight. The first fight was very competitive. Like, Merab versus Sean O'Malley, the first fight was competitive. The first fight was a competitive fight. I don't shit on Merab that much for taking the rematch. It was a competitive fight. Okay, he dominated him in the rematch, but it was competitive. Let's talk about Leon Edwards taking on Colby Covington. Now, Bilal was right there. Leon should have taken Bilal. Stylistically, Colby Covington did have a win over the rangy striker in Masvidal, who was a very similar... Just think about this for a second, chat. Colby had gone to a war in his second fight with Kamaru Usman, who is one of the greatest fighters of all time. Maybe a top 20 fighter, maybe a top 15 fighter. A top 15 GOAT of all time. Colby Covington took that Kamaru Usman to what the MMA guru calls a robbery, and some people call a draw, the second Usman fight. He then goes on to easily dominate Jorge Masvidal against the cage, who is a rangy kickboxer stand-up striker, very similar to Leon Edwards. Now, without knowing how this fight turned out, this fight was actually dangerous for Leon going into it. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Or am I being retarded again? I think I'm making sense. I didn't think Leon picked Colby because I thought it would be easier. It's just better for the... I didn't think Leon picked Colby because he thought it would be easier. Just better for the promotion. Yeah, absolutely better for the promotion. Better pay-per-view points. So, yes, there was Bilal there, ready to go. But without using hindsight, without knowing how the fight turned out, I think this was actually a bit of a dangerous fight for Leon Edwards. I've got no idea why people are even saying the Leon Colby fight. I know, I think this was actually a bit of a dangerous fight for Leon Edwards. So I'm going to put this down here in the F tier. People brought it up, but I'm going to put this down here in the F tier for Leon taking Colby Covington as the defense. Because I think there's a bit of danger on it for Leon when you look at the actual historical context of the fight. Let me read some more chats, make sure I didn't miss anyone out. Sterling versus TJ, that's on my list. Make sure I didn't miss anyone out. Where am I up to? Steve Fight on Marab. We're doing DJ versus the Tough Stacer. That is on my notepad. We'll get to that. Yep. Figgy spent 4 years fighting Monero. Now he's fighting Montel Jackson. I'm sad. I know, dude. GSP versus Dan Hardy. Yeah, but who else? This is the thing, right? Was there anyone else for GSP to fight? Like GSP versus Diaz, GSP versus Dan Hardy. You know, fucking John Jones versus OSP, DC was out. Like, was there anyone else available for them to fight at the time? You know, with these fights, you got to add a little bit of context. We will be your caretaker. You guys are my caretakers. Sterling versus TJ. Sterling versus TJ. It's like they hate us. I saw a post talking crap about how their Asian fighters beat the trash Americans and Brazilians. It's like they do hate us, Joe Swanson. They absolutely do hate us. O'Malley dominated Cheeto. Sharma asked to fight Khalil. Yeah, but going into the fight, O'Malley, like, Cheeto had already beaten O'Malley. Izzy Vittori too. Marvin was on a roll, but let's be honest, he was never beating Izzy. But Izzy was just fighting the next guy up. That's Izzy's job as a champion. Who else was he going to fight? Izzy was just fighting the next guy up. Sorry, I missed some chats. Where am I? Hardy was a number 1, number 2 contender. Exactly, yeah. Pantoja fighting Kaya Sakura. No grappling abilities at all. Who else was Pantoja going to fight? Was Hardy that crap? I don't remember his career that well at all. Neither do I. It was before my time. Som versus Marab 1 was competitive. Sean O'Malley versus Marab 1 was not competitive. It was competitive. I'm extremely Asian. It was 3-2 on the scorecards. I don't think Leon picked up. We did that one. O'Malley almost had Marab out in his feet in the first fight. I know it was competitive. The first fight was. Leon was thinking he won against Bilal anyway. True. Eat a big fat pussy with a pork and spoon. Fair enough. Hendo wasn't easy. The Hendo fight wasn't easy, but Hendo wasn't even in the top 10, and Yoel Romero was available to fight. So rather than taking Yoel Romero, Bisping decided to take Henderson, who was outside of the top 10 rankings. Fucking embarrassing. People love to hate on Leon for some reason. They do. Leon Edwards is the GOAT. Murphy will then dethrone him and become the second coming of Leon Rocky Edwards. Leon Rocky Edwards. I guess it's about perception going in. Yeah, it is. We're sort of taking that in. I've got heaps of shit today, but I'm standing... I've got heaps of shit to do today, but I'm standing around like a spasm. My phone. No, Nacho, go and run your errands, mate. Don't worry about this retarded tier list. That's going to be forgotten next week. Don't worry about that, Nacho. Just go and do what you need to do. When Leon took the fight, people weren't expecting Colby to be as poor as he was in that fight. Exactly, man. Exactly. Who was your GOAT? Mine is GSP. Mine is Mighty Mouse. Yeah, Anthony Johnson was there and still making 170 at the time. Who are we talking about? Super Shotgun. Are you talking about GSP versus Henderson? He could have taken Anthony Johnson instead. Volk versus Mexican Jabli is kind of bad. Volk versus Ortega. Ortega had earned his way back to the shot. My goat is Edson Barbie. There you go. In retrospect, yeah. Pantoja could have fought Manel Cap, Muhammad Makhayev instead of Kai Asakura. Muhammad Makhayev had been kicked out of the UFC at that point, Johnny. Manel Cap... had gotten Gyno and an eye-poking win over Asuma Mabayev. Yeah. Big Dougie speaking the truth. Thank you. Diaz was coming off a loss, if I remember correctly. He got money because Hardy wasn't top 5. Hardy himself said he only got it because there was no one else. So GSP was just doing his job. Diaz was coming off a loss. So what, are we saying that he could have fought an Anthony Johnson instead? No, don't leave, bro. Why are you here? Yep. TJ versus Joe Salto. Yeah, where are we at on the list? We'll pick some more out on the list. Just because Leon and Theron are lanky black guys from the UK doesn't mean they're the same person. They are literally the same team. Not Ortega, Yair. Oh, Yair. Volk versus Yair Rodriguez. No, Yair Rodriguez had won the interim title fair and square. No, that was a fair enough. Like, that was just taking on the next contender. There's nothing wrong with that one. All right, Aljo, where are we up? Aljo versus TJ versus Joe Soto. So what's the story here with TJ versus Joe Soto? This is a little bit before my time. I'll bring up TJ Dillashaw. What's the story with TJ Dillashaw versus Joe Soto? Let me ask Gronk. TJ versus Joe Soto. Controversy. 200 words or less. Let's have a look. What is the TJ versus Joe Soto controversy in 200 words or less? Joe Soto got signed on 1 day's notice. No shit. TJ Dillashaw versus Joe Soto. UFC 177, August 2024. This was about just a whole year before I started watching MMA. It stemmed from a last-minute replacement of Renan Barão, who was hospitalized due to the weight cut, with Soto, a UFC newcomer, in the bantamweight title fight. Critics argue the UFC's decision to give it to Soto, who was preparing for a 3-round undercard bout. He got a title shot within 24 hours' notice, was unfair to both the fighters. DJ was expecting Barão and was forced to have a different stylistic challenge with Soto. Soto was underprepared for a 5-round fight, and he was thrust into a high-stake debut. Soto put on a valiant effort, landing significant strikes until the 5th round where he got knocked out. Some felt the UFC's handling of the situation devalued the bantamweight division. The event, already plagued with cancellations, was criticized for its yeah-whatever approach, highlighted the UFC's perceived lack of investment in the division compared to others. Okay, so it seems like you guys want to burn TJ Dillashaw at the cross for doing exactly what Islam Makhachev did here against Moicano, which was save an event in the last minute. If Renan Barão couldn't make the weight cut on the scale, that means it happened that weekend, about 48 hours before the event, so you guys could have had an event with no pay-per-view main event, or TJ Dillashaw could have taken the next guy up. I am going to put TJ Dillashaw in F tier for that. I'm not going to... This is how I'm sort of doing it, right? Was there another contender? Yes. Tom Aspinall was right there. Could have taken the fight with Tom Aspinall. Chose to take Stipe. Was there another contender? Yes. Yoel Romero was right there. He literally fought a month later. Chose to take Henderson instead. Was there another contender? Yes. Magomed Ankalaev all year long. Kind of scheduling. Not really his fault. Was there another contender for the Masvidal fight? Yes, there were. There were other contenders. Bilal Muhammad, Leon Edwards, they were all right there. Chose to take Masvidal instead. Was there another contender? Yes. Merab Dvalishvili was right there. Chose to take Marlon Chito Vera instead. Stepped in for a short notice fight, but I already smoked Aldo in the first fight. Stepped in for a short notice fight. Had a competitive fight with Alexander Volkanovski the first time. Literally just saved the card. TJ Dillashaw did nothing wrong. He literally just saved the card. We're not punishing TJ Dillashaw for that. Let me put TJ Dillashaw on the list and I'll put him down in F tier. And then I'll read some chats. TJ. I'll put TJ in and then we'll read some chats. F tier for TJ Dillashaw. You don't get punished for saving a pay-per-view. Alright, I'll read some chats, guys. Where are we at? And then how long have I been live? We'll go live for about 2 hours. We'll hang out. Why do you use Gronk? Just gives good summaries. Maybe make sure I'm up there. Ortega versus Yair. We'll circle back around to that. I've got that on my notes. Simply kudos. Pantoja was literally Manel Cap's debut. This is true. Aljo clearing out the division of these rank squatting cancers. Yeah, it's fucking wonderful to see, isn't it? Joe Sato got signed on a day's notice from Bellator. Barão smashed his head in the weight cut the night before. Oh, I did hear that story. I didn't know that was him. There you go. Why use Gronk? It does really good summaries. Joe Sato had to step in on his debut. Every grappler in flyweight can beat Kai Asakura. This is a good point, Johnny. They did an interview with Barão live on pay-per-view because Dana and everyone was so pissed with him fucking up the pay-per-view. It was a receipt. Right, I have seen this. Where the UFC are raging out about him and Joe Rogan. They're raging out about how he ruined the pay-per-view. I didn't put the fighter's name to that. But yeah, I've seen this, Super Shotgun, yeah. Well, was Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree the last shitty card we had? Might have been. No, we had a shit card like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was at the Apex. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago. You can fight. I've seen that. Yeah, no, I've seen that Super Shotgun. They had Joe Rogan sit down with Brow live on camera. The whole crowd watching fucking grilled him. Yeah, I have seen that. I completely blanked on it, but yeah. I don't think Rumble was close to a title shot. He always missed weight. He also got eye gouged to death by Koscheck and then fucking subbed. Dougie was spitting facts right now. I was just reading off Gronk. TJ did nothing wrong. Yep. So we're only counting fights planned in advance because that makes sense. Nobody can control some shit 24 hours beforehand. Yeah, like we're trying to be like, this is a tier list of who took the easiest defense. And not easy because it wasn't your fault. Like, who literally picked and chose their opponents? Like, John Jones is the perfect S tier of this. Literally chose to duck the Reyes rematch and sit out from Francis Ngannou until it was a vacant title shot. Like, John Jones is S tier at taking the easiest title defenses. Ducking the number one contender to take an easy title defense, not stepping in on short notice. In hindsight, Cheeto versus O'Malley was a fluker's hindsight. Yeah, it was, but you see how, like, at least Cheeto Vera had proved that he could beat Sean O'Malley, and Sean O'Malley took the rematch. So, like, yes, he ducked Marab, but there was some spice on it. Dougie, when are you going to let me hit, bro? Frankie. Okay, thank you, Ricky. Bro, Brandon Moreno versus Isaac Duruk was a crazy fight. All right. Is Gronk free? Gronk is free. Yeah, Gronk is free. It's just on Twitter. If Randy Couture had defeated Lesnar, would he have been S tier? I don't know the circumstances enough, Johnny. Sorry. Blanchfield Barber was way worse than Khalil Roundtree. Yeah, that is true. Blanchfield versus Barber was women on the way. Yep. Pantoja for almost every single defense. No, because Pantoja's just worked his way through the division. He's just fighting the next guy that's available to him. Like, even when he took Usyk, who else was he going to fight? He had beaten everyone else. I can't put Pantoja on this list. I can't think of a reason to put Pantoja on this list. I can't believe Nick Sick ChatGPT game plan beat $3 million worth of Chinese fitness technology. I know, just walk around to the left. Chinese don't have peripheral vision. All right, Super Shotgun. Let us look at John Loba's record. If he is seriously coming off a 5-loss streak and Joe Loba ends up fighting Frank Shamrock for a title off a 5-loss losing streak. Let's have a look at John the Machine Loba. Let's do it together, chat. Let's do it together and see if this is the new S-tier title defense. John Loba. There's Frank Shamrock. There's the Shield. That is a title defense at UFC in 1998. He was coming off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in a row and a draw. Fuck me. That is horrible. Now, I've got to ask, Super Shotgun, is there anyone else that Frank Shamrock could have fought at UFC 17.5? Is there anybody else that Frank Shamrock could have fought? Because that is fucking embarrassing. That is fucking embarrassing. Low-key, DDP versus Izzy. Ooh, DDP versus Izzy. DDP instead of Hamzat Chimaev. You know what? You're right, Bilal. DDP could have taken Hamzat Chimaev. No, had Hamzat Chimaev fought Robert Whittaker at that point? DDP Tapology. DDP Tapology. And then Hamzat Chimaev Tapology. Had Hamzat already fought Whittaker? So Hamzat fought Robert Whittaker, making him the number one contender on October of 2024. And Drickus fought Izzy August of 2024. No. Yeah, no, DDP was easy with a fight to make with it. Yeah, that was the fight to make. That was the fight to make. Yeah, no. All right, let's see. UFC 17 Brazil. Frank Shamrock defended his UFC middleweight title against John Loba. Potential alternative opponents were limited due to the event's small roster and the UFC's challenges based on the fight overall tenors. A skilled grappler who fought on the same card, losing to Ferran Borrega. Was it a tournament sort of fight, Super Shotgun? Is that how it turned out that way? He could have taken on Vitor Belfort instead. Vanderlei Silva. He could have... So was it a tournament at UFC 3? Was UFC 17 a tournament? Four-man middleweight tournament. Yeah, so it was the way. Yep. Organize the fight from the beginning. They should have organized the fight from the beginning. I mean, we'll put it up there. We'll fucking put it up there, mate. That's pretty crazy. To do a title defense, a guy on a 5-fight losing streak plus a draw. We'll put Frank Shamrock up there, mate. Just for the goats. We'll put it up there. But, you know, being back in 1998 makes it a little bit skew-if, but I get what you're saying. Like, they could have organized it to go against Vitor or Vanderlei. There you go. Thank you, JVD, for the $1, man. I really appreciate it. I wasn't a tournament. Okay, sorry. I mean, it says it was a tournament. Sorry, dude. This is fake news. Wow. It was planned from the start. Thank you, JVD, for the $1. And look at that. Super Shotgun is calling out Gronk. Fucking AI doesn't know shit. Four-man middleweight tournament. There you go. Doesn't know shit. Let me read everyone's chats and make sure I've caught up. And then we'll jump in on Frank Shamrock. Thank you, JVD, for the $1, man. I appreciate it. Fucking AI doesn't know shit. Okay, where was I up to? I just read Bilal's good eye. Where am I up to? Well. Brock Lesnar was only 1-2 when he fought for the heavyweight title. Very true, Johnny. Very, very true. That was a fucking losing. Now that is a fucking losing streak. Low-key DDP versus Izzy. What's up, Joe, bro? How are you, dude, bro, Joey? Hey, Dougie, would never miss your streams. Oil up now. I mean, Diddy, what's up, Joe, bro? How are you, man? Let's see Paul Allen's losing streak. Now that is a losing streak. Which fighter getting cut was almost satisfying to you? My guess is the infamous William Knight. Yeah, I fucking hated William Knight for that performance. I was raging out hard. DDP versus Strickland 2. No, Strickland deserved a rematch. He was the defending champion and lost a very close split decision. Strickland absolutely deserved the rematch. DDP fought Sean instead of Hamzat. Yes, at the time. But I think the Sean Strickland fight needed to happen. I think it needed to. I honestly believe the UFC played that correctly. I really do. They just put Hamzat on ice. They didn't force Hamzat to fight again. But the Strickland rematch needed to happen. I do believe that. So I actually think the UFC played that perfectly. I'm extremely Asian. DDP versus Strickland 1 was a robbery. Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a very close fight. But Chimaev was already booked to fight Robert Whittaker. He pulled because he got sick. Yep. Organized that fight from the beginning. Then Rob beat Askar Askarov. Yeah, but Chimaev hadn't done enough to earn a middleweight title shot at the point. DDP and Izzy never needed to happen. It was bullshit. It was just delayed title shot because we clearly needed the Strickland rematch. We did need the Strickland rematch, but yeah, I'm not gonna put DDP on the list for that. It was Frank's third fucking title defense, so it wasn't a tournament. There you go. Rob Chimaev was meant to happen in August 2024. It was planned from the start. There was no check. There was no check! No check! Wanderlei got KO'd by Vitor at UFC 17, so I don't see how he could have had a shot at UFC 17.5. Matchmaking. Shitty matchmaking from the UFC. AI is the future. Watch it, Dougie. When AI overlords take over, you're going to be regretting talking shit. Fuck you, AI. You never get shit right. AI has a virus. It does. How do you know, motherfucker? Hey, you falsely banned me, bro. I had one more chat. How do you know, motherfucker? Hey, you falsely banned me, bro. I had one more chat. You literally fucked up that same day, bro, Joey. You literally fucked up that same day, and now you've exposed yourself as the guy that I banned. Choose what to do next. Was Shamrock's third title defense not a tournament? You pilled William Knight that... I don't remember who I picked. That was like... fucking 2000 and what was it, Mitch? 2020? I don't remember who I picked 5 years ago, man. I don't remember. All right, we are going to put Frank Shamrock on the list. Fucking craziness. Let's get Frank Shamrock on the list for taking a fight not in a tournament against a guy on a 5-fight losing streak when it could have been... Dougie's cousin was an easy... Shut up, nigga. What are you got on Frank Shamrock? You don't. I tell you what, that is a name you don't. Bro, what is this tier? I know reading the screen is hard work, isn't it, Bilal? Isn't it shit, Bilal? It's hard work, isn't it, mate? To just look at the top of the screen and read it? I know. I get it, dude. I understand. I have trouble reading as well, so I'm not going to shit on you for that. I have trouble reading as well, mate. He literally took a guy on a 5-fight loss streak. And a fight that wasn't a tournament. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Where am I up to? How do you know motherfucking false move out? We did that one before. Dougie, your mum's a fun card. There we go. My reckons 600. My reckons it was 600,000, not 6 million. It was about 2,400,000. Made it funny in the Discord. Did you, two smelly fingers? Let's have a look at the Discord. What have you done in the Discord, two smelly fingers? You cheeky man. What have you done? What have you done? What is this? Let me listen to this. Do you want me to play this on the stream too, Smelly? Is that what you're asking for? Do you want to play this 45-second clip on the stream? Is that what you're asking for? Let me know. Do you want me to play this on the stream too, Smelly? Where are we up to? Connor defended an imaginary belt against Cowboy instead of fighting Masvidal for the BMF belt. True. Very true. Imagine if Tyrone Woodley had defended against Sam, but you want me to play it on the stream? All right. Two Smelly Fingers has got a message for us. Two Smelly, if you're wasting our time, this goes for pretty much a minute, Two Smelly Fingers. If you waste our time, I swear to God, hell will have no fury.
So, one day, years ago I was driving down the back roads of Indiana. Just cornfield after cornfield, middle of nowhere. And I'm driving by this old farmhouse, and I see this guy. And I look closer, and he's just, old man is just going to town on this goat. Like, he's fucking the hell out of this thing. And I keep driving, thinking, it's none of my business. But then I think of the poor goat. Like, this poor animal's just getting abused out here. So I turn around, I go up to this old farmhouse, and I knock on the screen door, and this kid comes to the door. And I tell him, hey, I don't want to alarm you or anything, but there's this guy out in this field back here going to town on this goat. And he said, oh, don't be worried about him. That's just my dad.
Very good. That's just my dad. All right, Tuesday. Thank you, mate. Thank you for that. I've never ever. This is why I don't do call-ins. This is why we don't do call-ins. I'm never playing a fucking voice message on the chat again. Thank you, Too Smelly. Thank you for that dad joke. We really needed that dad joke in the middle of the stream, mate. We really needed to stop reading out people's messages so we could do that. Too Smelly, thanks. Jesus Christ. I'm not hating. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, God. DDP versus Huntsman is going on the list. No, it's not. DDP needed to take the fight. Dougie's cousins killed his bird. Those poor fuckers. There you go. It was kill it. There we are. Bro, you're weird. You're weird. John Jones was getting fucked. He was getting fucked. John Jones was the GOAT. My bet. You're all good, mate. Absolutely. Hello. Absolutely, mate. Right. Let's get the stream back on track. Thank you, Too Smelly, for just a quick I fucked a goat joke. Oh, God almighty. Right. Where the fuck were we? John Jones versus Chael Sonnen. Did John Jones have anyone else? Did John Jones... No, DJ versus Tough. Michael Bisping versus Dan. Volk versus TKZ. Volk versus TKZ. Was there anyone else for Volk to fight at the time when Volk fought TKZ? Volk Tapology. Was there anyone else in the rankings for Volk to fight at the time? Or was that just Volk fighting the next up-and-coming fighter? Volk beat the shit out of Hang Song Young in 2022. What were the rankings in 2022? The rankings on December 2022. Featherweight rankings. Who else could Volk have fought in 2022? Can't have fought Volk again. Holloway was getting his way up to a win. Arnold Allen. Could have been Arnold Allen. Could have been Arnold Allen. Could he have taken Arnold Allen instead of TKZ? He fought Arnold Allen in April of 2022. In April of 2022, Arnold Allen had just destroyed Dan Hooker. He had destroyed Sadiq Yusuf the year before. He had 2 cancelled bouts. Nate Linez, Gilbert Menez, Matt Bedell. It was undefeated. He could have taken Arnold Allen. He could have taken Arnold Allen. Volk is going on the list. Volk's going on the list. Arnold Allen was ranked number 2 at the time. He was available to fight. He had destroyed Dan Hooker before that. That year, which means, look at that. That's in March as well. So right when they were booking this fight against Hung Song Young. Oh no, so they would have done that in March. So when they were talking about Chan Song Young, Arnold Allen would have been looking to come back after Sadiq Yusuf. Would have been looking to come back after Sadiq Yusuf. Could have been Arnold Allen right there. Could have beaten Sadiq Yusuf and come back and fought instead. But instead they went with TKZ. And I wonder how many fight win streak TKZ was on at the time. Let's have a look. In 2022, what kind of win streak was the Korean Zombie on? In 2022, probably not a big one. 2022, he was literally on a 1-fight win streak over Dan Ige. He was 2-3 in his last 5. Volk goes on the list. Volk goes on the list. Let me read some chats. Pork Diddy, but sheep goals. Okay. A bunch of top 205ers coming off a win. I have to check the rankings at the time. Yeah, we can check the rankings at the time. Max pulled out. He was the only person to step up. No, I mean, again, it could have been Arnold Allen. Ilya versus Paddy Pimblett, bro. That fight hasn't happened yet, Big Joey. Arnold Allen still never got a title shot despite getting robbed against Mobzar with a bullshit knee on the ground game. True. Who's your favorite fighter currently? It's got to be JDM or Rafael Fiziev right now, brother. Max didn't really pull out of that fight. He just went to war with Yair, and then 4 months later was a little too soon. He needed the extra 2 to 3 months. Yeah, Rafael Fiziev to watch too, smelly finger. I fucking love the Muay Thai. JDM is Dougie's boyfriend. True, mate. Drufus Tracy just liked this live. I know, imagine using logic. Lucas Tracy would hate this live stream. No Volkslander allowed. Volk's going on the list. I don't feel bad for Mobzar not getting a title shot after the Allen robbery. Neither do I. What about Drickus versus Izzy? No, that fight was fair enough. Hamzat hadn't have fought Robert Whittaker at that point. UFC matchmakers should be on the S. They fucking should be, Johnny. Remember when we bought Tatiana Suarez was going to dominate Zayli? Remember when we thought Tatiana Suarez? We did all think that. We literally did, dude. I think she was the favorite going into that fight. Tatiana Suarez, I think she was the favorite going into that fight. When she went in against Zhang, I think most people were picking her, mate. No, Zhang was still the favorite. There you go. So we were part of the few that thought that Suarez was going to do it. Have you heard of the MMA fighter? No, I'm not saying that. Good one, Sharma. They put BSD to get past his hometown again against Ruffy. I know he's going to get destroyed. Dougie have JDM in his nickname because that's what it stands for. Just Dougie's man. That's right, mate. Women fighting doesn't count. I picked Zhang and laughed at everyone else a lot during that fight. I fucking bet you did, Nacho. Who are you picking between Valentina and Zhang? I'm going to pick Valentina Shevchenko, Big Johnny. Right. Volk goes on the list. I hate to say it, but TKZ was a give me fight instead of Arnold Allen coming back. Arnold Allen was on like a 10-fight win streak. He was ranked number 2 at the time. I love Alexander Volkanovski, but fair is fair. Fair is fair. I've got to put Volk on the list. Where is Volk? Where is me little Volk? I've got so many fighters here. Craziness. Why the hell is Volk? Fuck it. I'll just have to re-add him. This is what happens. I can't find them straight away, and I've got to use a software where I can tag the photos, and that way I can search them. We'll just have to do it manually. Let's get Volk on this list. Wasting too much time. I'm breaking my own rule and wasting time on the stream. Val versus Whaley is booked. No, not officially, but it's gonna happen. It'll probably happen in January in Canada, I would say. Although now that it's on Paramount, they might not waste that card. They might do it in December and make it the last ESPN pay-per-view as the lowest selling pay-per-view of all time. Because that will be the lowest fucking selling pay-per-view of all time. So they might choose to do that. Fuck, this is a pretty bad one, actually. This is a pretty... Like, when you look at the context... When you look at the context of this, right, chat? This is a pretty bad one. This is a pretty bad one. Because Arnold Allen was right there. Now, again, there was a rough rematch in the first fight. Could have taken... Chose to do Masvidal... and a second title fight when he could have taken Leon Edwards. And he had already beaten Masvidal. So at least Volk had an already beaten TKZ. Could have taken Merab, but Cheeto had already beaten him. So he earns some respect for that. I think this is a high B tier. Because he literally could have taken Arnold Allen and he just chose not to. Instead, they went with TKZ. And they gave Allen a weight-cutting Dan Hooker instead. I think Volk goes high B tier. I hate to say it. Oh, that sucks, mate. That sucks to put him there for that one. That really does, but I think he deserves to be there. Impression of Dougie meeting up to smoke some bongs with JDM. Mate, let's get the weed and dash, bruh. Dash to the servo and get some fucking snacks. Allen or injured or suspended. I don't know if that's true. Allen or injured or suspended. I don't know if any of that's true. None of that is true. Allen's hand is always fucked. This is true. Will Fiziev smoke Charles better than Ilya did? No, but Fiziev will win a hard-fought 5-round decision. Inshallah, I hope. Looks like an egg. Herzog, delete that, bro. How dare you? Yep. Tito Ortiz versus Elvis Solznik was pretty bad. You know I love Elvis since he's an Aussie. Yeah, no, I mean, God, Tito Ortiz versus Elvis. I remember it like it was yesterday, Super Shotgun. God, do I remember it. Oh, yes. What a wonderful fight. Grab the hash and dash and go to the servo and get some fucking Pringles, mate. Nacho, you shouldn't be looking at the phone. You've got shit to do today. Who would have won the rematch between Sean versus Aljamain Sterling? Probably Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling probably would have been like, fuck this. I am not striking with this guy. Instantly shot in on the hips and just backpacked the entire time. I think if there was a rematch, Aljamain Sterling would have done everything he can to win the belt. 3-4 record, 1-3 leading into a fucking title shot. That is embarrassing. But did Tito Ortiz have anyone else to fight at the time? Tito didn't want to fight Chuck Liddell. This is true. This is true. I do know that. DJ versus some cunt from Tough. I don't think there was anyone else for DJ to fight. Volk versus TKZ. We did that one. John Jones versus Chael. I don't know if there was anyone else for John Jones to fight. Leon versus Colby. We did that one. TJ Dillifer versus Joe Santo. We did that one. There was nothing wrong with that. Aldo versus Uriah Faber 2. Aldo versus Faber 2. What were the circumstances for Aldo versus Faber 2? Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo versus Uriah Faber 2. They only fought him once? Oh, then why the fuck did someone bring that up? Fucking retarded. Merab versus O'Malley. We did that one. Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz. Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz. Cruz was coming back after a very long injury. Very fucking long injury. Dominic Cruz was out. He had come off a loss to Cody Garbrandt in 2016. Then he came back 4 years later to take on Henry Cejudo in 2020. Henry Cejudo. Could have taken on someone else. Let's have a look. Cruz was like 50 years old, coming off a million injuries, not fighting for 5 years. I know, I remember. I was just trying to get the details right. The rankings in 2020. Davison Figueiredo was ranked... No. Here we go. Bantamweight. Petr Yan. Ooh, where was Petr Yan in 2020? Aldo and Faber was in the WEC. There you go. Pretty sure that was a last-minute replacement. Might have been. Wasn't it scheduled for Yan versus... It might have been. I'm going to check. I'm going to see if that fight was cancelled. We're going to see. 2020. Aljamain Sterling. Cancelled bout. Jose Aldo. Dominic Cruz fought Henry Cejudo in May of 2020. Petr Yan in May of 2020. Petr Yan had just finished Uriah Faber. And instead, they pretty much had him booked in against Marlon Moraes. So the UFC chose not to book in Petr Yan. And instead, they decided to book in Dominic Cruz for Henry Cejudo. Yeah, that's a ducking. That's a ducking right there. Pretty sure that was, goddamn Henry really scrammed and finished his double champ. Goddamn Henry Cejudo really scrammed and finessed his double champ reign. He did. So Petr Yan was right there. Petr Yan was right there. He had fought in December. Of 2019 against Uriah Faber. Got a round 3 head kick. He was available to fight early in 2020. And instead, they decided to book in early 2020. They decided to book in a Dominic Cruz coming off a 5-year absence and a loss to Cody Garbrandt. Henry Cejudo makes the list. Henry Cejudo absolutely makes the list. Absolutely. Let me read some chats. Impression of Dougie doing... where am I up to? Tito Ortiz versus Owen Sona is pretty bad. You know, we did that one. Who would you want to rematch with? We did that one. 3 and 4 record. We did that one. Dougie coping because he was there for the doubleheader of Tito versus Solznik and Zabjuddin defending his title same weekend. Peak week of combat sports in the early 2000s. I know, mate. I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. Don't even worry about that. Early prediction for Alex versus Big Ank. I think Ank shoots for a takedown and Alex for a frying knee. Very good, Sharma. What do you think? I'm not falling for that one. Impression of Dougie doing the turkey twerk. No, Aldo only fought Faber one time. What a fucking joke. Anchel Jubilee versus Islam Makhachev. Now, that is an easy one for Makhachev. There was no Aldo versus Faber. We did that one. Aldo versus Faber was in the WEC. We did that one. Pretty sure that was last minute. Cool. Pena. Nunes versus Pena. No, Nunes lost that one. Joanna Jacobs keeps liking Dougie's Instagram pictures. Good, she's based. He was supposed to fight Aldo, but Aldo couldn't travel. There you go. Cruz fighting Faber for the third time in 2016. Would you rather be on the GOAT list? I would rather be on the GOAT list. Yes, most dominant title defense tier list. We might do that one later this week, Guru Sister. It's going to be a dead week for MMA, so we'll do lots of tier lists. Yeah, we might do that. That's a good one. We'll probably do that one later this week. How are you, JT O'Neill? What's up, mate? You're here right at the end of the stream, but thank you for jumping in. I'm going to leave this stream up publicly because it's been a pretty PG stream, and we've had a tier list on it, so we'll leave this one up publicly for the boys. That was during the big lie, so travel restrictions were a thing. During 2020, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Peak 2020 was a thing. That is a good point. So we won't put him high up. We won't put him high up on the tier. We'll give him a little asterisk, Eric, because that is a very good point. Yeah. Travel restrictions were a thing. So we'll give him a little bit of grace for that. Because obviously Dominic Cruz was in America and Petr Yan was probably in Russia at the time. Same reason Khabib couldn't defend his title against Tony Ferguson. So we'll give him a little God, Henry Cejudo got lucky with that, didn't he? Jesus, he got lucky with that. Yeah, we'll put him down here in the D tier for, again, saving an event and travel restrictions. So what is this one for? This is for the Cruz defense, but it was during the big lie. He gets a big lie asterisk. It was during the big fucking lie. Nice stuff. No Matrix today. I know. How could you possibly call it a dead week in MMA when Dylan Dallas is fighting Lawrence? Oh, I'm an idiot. How could I fuck this up so badly? What fighters would run the prison showers? John Jones, Peyton Talbot, Jordan Levitt, Dricus Duplessis, Hamzat Chimaev after last week's performance, all the college wrestlers. They absolutely love dropping the soap. They love it. So that includes your Bo Nichols, your Cody Garbrandts, your Sean Brady's, all the American wrestlers. They are in the showers, absolutely. How could you possibly call it? I did that one. Jan versus Aldo were both in different countries, and it was last match. I know, Eric. That's why I'm giving him D tier. D tier. Been here for a bit. Thanks for this. Oh, you're welcome, JT O'Neill. No Matrix today. But that's pretty much 2.5 hours. I said I'd go for about 2 hours. That's 2 hours, 20 minutes. We recap the fights. Well done to everyone in the top 10. We did a tier list. Good fun. Most skilled fighter currently. The most skilled fighter who's got the best well-rounded skill set in MMA right now. Probably Ilia Topuria. Or Ian Gary. Probably Ilia Topuria or Ian Gary. Doug, you watched the MMA on Point video about French Shamrock? I've actually watched it 3 times. Super Shotgun. Yeah, I've watched it 3 times in the past. Yeah. I've watched it a couple of times, to be honest, mate. I just don't retain information that good. I'm not one of those sports autists that can just remember fucking everything like my mate that watches footy. Dougie Shortney stream every single time. Shut up. Not true. See you soon. Ian Gary. Yeah, Ian Gary, mate. Rangy striking, grappling, good jiu-jitsu on the back. Ian Gary, it's true, man. Dougie S tier for least amount of effort on an MMA channel. Shut up. I put in the most effort. Top comment on Bryce's post. I'll check it out. Rare Ian Gary. It's true. Skilled, most well-rounded skill fighters. Ian Gary's up there. He is. Good grappling, good striking, knows how to control the range, knows when to use his IQ. Probably Ilya, Pantoja, and Ian Gary are the most skilled strikers. Are most skilled MMA athletes right now. Maybe Tom Aspinall knows when to blast the double leg and get a submission, but knows when to box, but his boxing's a little bit sloppy. Yeah. Oh, is this Ian Gary taking wins on fights he lost and never fought the classic Ian Gary? I mean, I'm just saying Ian Gary's very well-rounded, yeah. When you told last night, no. Like the stream or Dougie will send a bomb to your house. Absolutely correct. Boys, there'll be a video tomorrow. Obviously, I'll be live tomorrow. Obviously, we'll do more tier lists this week because it's going to be a bit of a quiet week. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Ian Gary is the GOAT of taking wins out of losses or fights he never lost. Ian Gary is the GOAT of taking wins out of losses or fights that he never fought. This is true, Super Shotgun. Thanks. Buy some beers. Thank you, corporate. Buy some birds. Buy some new birds. Thank you, corporatism. I appreciate it. Remember how Ian Gary denied the loss to Shavkat for like 8 months? He really did. I know. But Ian Gary is a cunt of a person and a horrible cuck. But his skill set, Super Shotgun, is very good. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy your Sundays in Australia. I will see you guys on tomorrow's video. I will see you guys on the next stream. Have a good one. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. I really appreciate it. I will check it out, Eric. I'm going to go take a giant shit, and I'll check it out while I'm shitting. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Corporatism, for the $2. I appreciate you. Have a good one, guys. Appreciate you all. See ya. Slack up. Literally the hardest working MMA YouTuber on MMA YouTube. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, guys.